Welcome back to Invisalign Arena. It's a late one here tonight between NC State and Delaware. Chris Lehman alongside Ben Johnson as we get set for the second matchup between the Ice Pack and the Blue Hens. Last night, Ben, slow start for the two teams, scoreless after one period. NC State did break open a lead, 2-1 going into the third, and then they blew the doors off of Delaware with 7 unanswered in the final 20 minutes. They really got to their game in the third.
That's right. We just really saw NC State shaking off that dust from that month of no games and just really throughout the game building that confidence and that team working together, and we're just seeing them slowly become a more and more dominating force as the game went on.
Yeah, and I think what was really encouraging was kind of what you outlined there was the progress that NC State made moving forward. You talked to the captain, Zach Herman, after the first period. He said, it certainly wasn't our best period. Then you come out for the second period, things start to go right. They don't get all the bounces, it's only a 1-goal lead, but then they finally got to their game completely in that third period, and we saw the production from it. We saw how good this team is.
That's right, we just saw NC State just using their aggression, just being a total powerhouse in that third period yesterday.
Well, they've had over a day to rest. That's one thing that's going to be interesting tonight. An 11-10 puck drop here on the East Coast, nonetheless. It's going to be a late one for these two teams.
That's right. It sure is going to be a late one.
All right, well, we are just about set for puck drop. We're going to step aside when we come back. There was a big announcement made about the Governor's Cup yesterday. We'll take a look at that on the other side.
The bold Louisiana flavor and crispy crunch of Popeye's signature chicken is the meal your craving deserves. And now you can get 3 pieces for just $5 and make it a meal for only $3 more.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
From starting strong to it's been a week. So many ways to save. Life ready, wallet happy. That's 365 by Whole Foods Market.
What the biggest companies deliver is an exceptional customer experience. What makes it possible is unmatched connectivity and 5G solutions from T-Mobile for Business. T-Mobile connects 100,000 Delta Airlines employees, powers Tractor Supply's stores nationwide with reliable 5G business internet, and partners with PGA of America on game-changing innovation. This is how business goes further with T-Mobile for Business.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds. With the money I saved, I thought I'd get a wax figure of myself. Cool, right? Look at the craftsmanship. I mean, I even got my nostrils right. It's just nice to know, years after I'm gone, this guy will be standing the test of time. He's melting. Oh, geez. No. Okay. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Weight loss is changing.
For so long, I felt stuck on repeat. I tried and tried again, lost weight, gained it back.
But Zepbound means change. Zepbound's for adults with obesity to help lose weight and keep it off.
Activating 2 naturally occurring hormone receptors in my body, Zepbound works differently. It's changing what I believe is possible when it comes to weight loss. It's changing how much weight I lose, up to 48 pounds. And it's changing what happens.
Don't take if allergic to it, or if you or someone in your family had medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Tell your doctor if you get a lump or swelling in your neck. Stop Zepbound and call your doctor if you have severe stomach pain or a serious allergic reaction. Severe side effects may include inflamed pancreas or gallbladder problems. Tell your doctor if you are experiencing vision changes, taking a sulfonylurea or insulin, having suicidal thoughts, if you're nursing, pregnant, plan to be, or taking birth control pills. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can cause dehydration and worsen kidney problems.
Zepbound means change.
And when it comes to weight loss,
Change is good. Discover the weight loss you could be bound for. Talk to your doctor about Zepbound.
To have be renaming this in Governor Cooper's honor is also emblematic of how far we've come.
I'm really enjoying this rivalry. I look forward to this game and the friendship that we.
I don't think the growth of the game would be what it has been if he was not to light the fire of hockey in North Carolina.
Governor Cooper, he cares. And he cares about hockey, and he cares about these kids, and he cares about this city. And
I'm excited about this Governor's Cup, excited about the game coming up next month, and you guys go get them. Congratulations to you, and thank you very much for this honor. I appreciate it.
It's a great trip.
Well done.
Well, there's a look at Governor Roy Cooper alongside NC State's Zach Herman and Zach Robinson, as well as Patrick O'Shaughnessy and Tommy Gilligan of the North Carolina Tar Heels. Big announcement as they changed the name of the Governor's Cup, Ben, to the Roy Cooper Governor's Cup, and it's really cool to see how this event has evolved over the years since it was, enacted and they started playing over at the Lenovo Center. To see what it is now is impressive.
Yeah, over every year, just gaining more and more fans in that exciting stadium just really brings an element of electricity to the game that not every game has. And I don't know about you, but in those interviews, I thought Zach Herman looked pretty good holding that cup.
Yeah, I'm sure NC State on February 2nd will want to take that thing back into their locker room. I think you look at it, too, the involvement of the Hurricanes organization as well. Shane Willis speaking at the press conference. The Hurricanes weren't nearly as involved when all of this started, so to see the way I think that outdoor game at Carter Finley Stadium really kind of galvanized the college hockey environment here in the area is pretty cool as well.
Absolutely, yeah, and just seeing just the involvement of the Canes in that, and just letting the teams of the local teams in the area use that stadium, and just be able to play for more fans than they might be able to in their home stadiums.
Absolutely. As we look ahead to the game coming up here between NC State and Delaware, we're going to take a look down on the ice. NC State getting ready to play, but I think the big thing here tonight is they've got to find a way to get to what they did last night, especially in that third period.
That's right, and that third period is going to be just really important to bring back that energy like they did just throughout the whole game, and especially that third period, just keeping control of that puck.
All right, well, we're going to step aside here for a few minutes. When we come back, we'll take a look at our keys to the game on the other side.
Touches.
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know. Why does everyone love summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just better.
Oh, don't forget about hot ovens or hot peppers.
Hot springs, hot chocolate.
Hot sandwiches.
Ooh.
Hot soup, hot air balloons, hot yoga.
I get it. Hotter is better.
Or hot melted cheese. Sorry.
Potbelly, we bring the hot.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
My name is Zach Herman. I'm the captain of the NC State Ice Pack, and I was born and raised in the Raleigh area. We are a self-funded program doing our best to represent our university and the local hockey community in Raleigh on a national level.
My name is Alex James, and I'm a senior assistant captain from Lake Norman, North Carolina. The group you're watching out on the ice is a family, and that family does its best to represent you and the rest of the NC State community as best we can each and every day. Some of my top memories from this program include playing in front of over 20,000 NC State fans at Carter Finley, playing in front of over 10,000 NC State fans at Lenovo Center every year, and getting to play in front of a packed house every Friday night at Invisalign Arena.
We welcome and appreciate all your support along the way. Go Pack!
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Slayman and Ben Johnson back with you here at Invisalign Arena as we get set for NC State and Delaware. Second of two matchups here this weekend for the two teams. And Ben, if you're NC State, you just want to do what you did last night in that 9-1 win.
Yeah, that brings us to our first key of the game for tonight. For NC State is going to be just trying to pick up right where they left off last night. Finishing off the third period really strong with 7 goals in one period, and just coming back and bringing that force back into the game.
Absolutely. No one's going to fault you for missing the count on that one. They scored a lot. And if you're NC State, you got to carry that momentum through the period. A lot of times they fall into a lull. They put themselves in some tough, difficult situations, and it becomes an issue in the game, or the opponent, rather, is able to stick around.
That's right. And like always, NC State's going to need to be careful to stay out of the penalty box. We don't want to be giving either team those opportunities to get those man advantages and just to be able to take advantage of that. We're just going to have some clean, good, disciplined gameplay.
All right, well, NC State and Delaware getting ready to take the ice. As you see, they've turned the lights out behind us. We're going to take one final break. When we return, we'll be ready for the starting lineups and opening puck drop here at Invisalign Arena.
What's on your mind, Dion?
A sensitive skin. And how Old Spice Total Body isn't on it.
Gabby, is there anything you want to share?
Not this Old Spice deodorant. It's 24/7 freshness. It can go everywhere.
Everywhere.
Try Little Caesar Stuffed Crazy Crust. Everyone loves it, including Justin Jefferson and all his friends.
Stuffed crust? Buttery garlic spread?
That looks mighty delicious, Justin. It sure does, Mr. Pumpernickel. And at $9.49, it's the lowest price in stuffed crust with no strings attached. No strings attached? You want a piece of me?
No, Mr. Pumpernickel. Justin, run.
Order delicious stuffed Crazy Crust for $9.49 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Weight loss is changing.
For so long, I felt stuck on repeat. I tried and tried again, lost weight, gained it back.
But Zepbound means change. Zepbound's for adults with obesity to help lose weight and keep it off.
Activating 2 naturally occurring hormone receptors in my body, Zepbound works differently. It's changing what I believe is possible when it comes to weight loss. It's changing how much weight I lose, up to 48 pounds. And it's changing what happens.
Don't take if allergic to it, or if you or someone in your family had medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Tell your doctor if you get a lump or swelling in your neck. Stop Zepbound and call your doctor if you have severe stomach pain or a serious allergic reaction. Severe side effects may include inflamed pancreas or gallbladder problems. Tell your doctor if you are experiencing vision changes, taking a sulfonylurea or insulin, having suicidal thoughts, if you're nursing, pregnant, plan to be, or taking birth control pills. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can cause dehydration and worsen kidney problems.
Zepbound means change.
And when it comes to weight loss,
change is good.
Discover the weight loss you could be bound for. Talk to your doctor about Zepbound.
Oh, and T, you can't put that right in the dishwasher.
Watch me. With Cascade Platinum Plus, I have upped my dish game. I just scrape, load, and I'm done.
In that dishwasher?
In that dishwasher.
Only Platinum Plus is packed with more Dawn to remove up to 100% of grease and food residue, breaking down food to help it flow cleanly through the filter. Get the highest standard of clean, even in your machine.
Clean enough for you?
Yeah.
Scrape, load, done. Cascade Platinum Plus. Dare to dish differently.
Just about set to get things rolling here at Invisalign Arena. Chris Lehman and Ben Johnson with you. NC State and Delaware just about set to go. Take a look at the starting lineups very quickly. On the front end for the visiting Blue Hens, their front line going to have Josh Flom out there with George Schneider and Brady Morrow. On the backside, Patrick Flaherty and Joey Engelman. And in net again tonight, Joe Hooper had a great game despite giving up 7 goals in the game against NC State last night. For NC State, they're going to go with the young guns up front. Jake Gifford and Talon Langston, centered by Reese Johnson, with Jackson Weglars and Jake Lapani on the backside, and Dylan Christie in between the pipes for NC State as you get a look at our starting lineups for the game here tonight. You can see there NC State wearing those classic red uniforms, and Delaware back in the road blues again. When we get things rolling, it'll be Delaware moving left to right and NC State right to left. They are set for the national anthem here in the arena, so we'll throw it down to the ice and be right back with Puck Drop.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let's celebrate please rise and honor all hats and gear as we honor America and those defending our country and our freedom with the playing of our national anthem performed this evening by the Frigid Sound Device under the direction of Sarah Sisk.
There's the national anthem, and we're just about set to roll here in Morrisville, North Carolina. Chris Lehman and Ben Johnson with you on ESPN+. NC State big winners last night over Delaware. It was a tight game going into the third, a 2-1 game. NC State, though, outshot the Blue Hens 23-5 in the third period, and of course scored 7 unanswered to win the game 9-1. That included 6 goals in the first 8 minutes and 55 seconds, including 4 of which that were scored in pairs less than 30 seconds apart. So a lot of offense for NC State in that third period. Ben, we'll see if that carries over here tonight.
Yeah, not only just a lot of great goals and opportunities by NC State in that third period, but we saw Jake Gifford getting a hat trick actually in that period. So it's not surprising to see him on this starting lineup tonight.
For this line, I think, getting rewarded for a very productive game last night. As you mentioned, Gifford with the hat trick. Talon Langston had a couple of goals in the third period as well. And so just a very, very productive line for NC State last night. Reese Johnson had a couple of assists on the board as well. So we'll see what they can do. Johnson to take the face-off against Flom at center ice. Late start to this one, and off the draw it gets tied up. NC State eventually comes away with it, kicked forward by Johnson. He'll be knocked off the puck. Flom has it for Delaware. He'll chip it back up and out. As we mentioned, late start for this one. NC State typically starting their games closer to the 8 or 8:30 mark in the evening. I think I mentioned it last night late in the game as Weglars has a stick snap on him. But we were already done in on the way home at this point last night. Going to be a late night here at Invisalign Arena. Talon Langston at the red line. Banks it off the boards and in. NC State's first line will head off for a line change. Langston in on the forecheck to put some pressure on. Skating with it is Lipinski. Looking cross ice for Snyder on the far side. He'll send it back to Getz, and his pass forward intercepted. Prasma has it go on and off his stick. Loose in center ice. Nice hit laid there by Dahlin, and NC State will take over. Herman chips it in. Top line out there for the Ice Pack now. Herman centers Prasma and Finch. This line has kind of been solidified over the last month or so. A lot of different combinations that Coach Healy was tinkering with, trying to find the chemistry, and seems to have what he wants now. Finch trying to hold the zone along the boards. Couple of extra shoves as the whistle goes. Prasma agitating Aiden Getz a little bit there.
We've been seeing a lot of, just off the draw, we saw a lot of play ending up in the Blue Hens defensive zone again. NC State with a quick line change early on in the period, getting out their one of their other lines. Herman Zach.
Off the draw. Taken by Delaware on the near wall. Carried forward by Brendan Fleming. Has it knocked off his stick at the blue line. NC State has numbers back the other way. Losing an edge, Prasma. Herman's there, and a big save made by Hooper on the cross ice pass to Finch. He was making 10 bellers all night last night, and he goes right back to it here tonight. Thronson, D-to-D with Dahlin. Down low, he's got Herman. Pinned to the wall there. Finch over to help, but it's Fleming there first for the Blue Hens. Trying to kick it up the wall. Herman shuts that down. And now Sharp will send it back the other way as Delaware tries to break out the near side. Thronson pinches in and steals. Cross ice finds Herman high slot. His shot hits a body on the way through. Loose puck picked up by Delaware, and Mihalios will skate it out. Good sequence so far from NC State. A little over 2 minutes in, and Ben, they've looked a lot like they did in the last two periods last night. Down low, Delaware will take over. Taken away now by Thronson. He's bodied up there as it's outletted for Nick Shook. Throws it in deep, and Hooper will cover it up. Little extra poke there from Nick Shook, and Engelman takes exception.
Now, the Blue Hens here chose to keep Hooper in goal, who started last game tonight. They may have chosen to do that. As last night, he really did play quite well, despite letting in 7 goals. Lots of them were very good shots up high from NC State that would have been hard for any goalie to stop.
Yeah, a lot like that one we just saw in the replay. Great chance for Austin Finch early on in this first period. NC State still looking for the first goal. Frosch has his shot blocked by Kramer, and he'll beat the Delaware forward back to it, but he's hounded in front of his own bench. Puck stuck in the skates there. NC State will fork it forward. Flaherty's got it for Delaware. D-to-D with Engelman. Headman pass for Kramer gets caught up in his skates. NC State will take over. Brenner plays it forward looking for Kaufman. NC State is onside. Initially, it looked like the linesman might have blown it offside, but they'll play on. Frosch holds the line. Brenner just going to retreat with it as NC State needs a change. Gilmore walks it in now for the Pack. He's going to cut to the net. Save made by Hooper as it's deflected back behind the goal. Engelman's outlet pass stolen by Oliver, who whistles one through the crease. Frosch holds it on the near side. Chipped back down into the corner. Loose puck picked up by Emery Oliver. He's dispossessed by the Delaware defense. Engelman throws it off the glass, but not out. McEnady back to the middle. Robinson to the backhand, and he can't get it to go. Robinson now down, and I think he went down hard and hit his head on the ice. He's going to stay down for a moment.
We're seeing, even at the beginning of this game, some really aggressive and angry checks coming from the Blue Hens towards the State players.
I think this one's going to take him, and it was an awkward fall for Zach Robinson going to the net. He's going to get up here, and he does not look steady. He needs to get some help to the bench. Hopefully he'll be able to shake this off, but that's all we're going to see, I think, of Robinson tonight as he gets some help now from Weglars to the bench. Really tough way to start this period, and it's going to be a penalty on Engelman as well, who took down Robinson.
Really a tough way to start the period, just 4 minutes in. Losing that player maybe for the rest of the game. Hopefully he'll be able to shake this off.
If the trainers have anything to say about it, I don't think we'll see Robinson again, without question. NC State going to try and make them pay for the penalty. Herman with it now. Floats it along the blue line for Weglars. Back across, looking for Reese Johnson. It gets caught up in a couple of sticks. Gifford repossesses. Now Herman. Back for Weglars. Thrown on goal. Seen all the way by Hooper. Glove save. And that will get a stoppage.
State, I'm sure, here looking for revenge for their player. They're getting a good shot off towards the net. Some good movement of the puck around in the defensive zone. Just working on getting those shots through this power play.
Off the draw, Langston carries it behind. He'll backhand it around the wall to the near side for Gifford. He'll step in from the blue line. Down low for Langston again. Talon Langston back up the wall. It's Gifford. Under some pressure, he'll be pushed into the wall. Finds Herman beforehand. Across for Weglars. He takes the off-angle shot. Rebound collected by Langston. Back for Reese Johnson. He'll walk it down low. Plays it back out for Gifford along the hashes. Looks rink wide. Can't connect there with Herman. And it's out of the zone. Now Gifford stepping in. Has it taken off his stick by Kramer. Flaherty now wastes some time. Clears it up. Maybe a shorthanded chance coming. Stam steps in. High slot shot. Easily knocked away by the stick of Christie. And NC State will regroup here on the man advantage. Just 45 seconds left. Forward for Herman. He'll step in. Button hooks at the hashes. Looks across. Has Prasma high slot. His shot pinballs through traffic and doesn't find the net. Prasma back out in front. Loose in the crease. Still there on top of the slot. NC State's Herman can't get the shot away. Still 25 seconds left on this power play. Puck ricochets up top for Prasma. Slides it across to Thronson. He'll step into one. Stuck in front. Langston's tripped up trying to take the shot. And now Delaware going to clear this one away. Looks like he and Langston and Hooper are a little bit slow to get up. And the goaltender for the Delaware Blue Hens is going to stay down for the moment. It's been a rough start to this one.
Certainly looks like play is being stopped here for that big trippage that happened. May have caught a skate to the mask. We don't know quite what happened there to Hooper.
And it may have been some ice coming up into his eyes as well. Not exactly sure what happened. We'll see if we have a look at it on replay or not. But, you know, funky start to a late game here tonight. Just not even 6 minutes in.
We certainly, on that penalty, we're seeing Blue Hens playing aggressively, getting that puck out of their zone and even generating an opportunity. But we were also seeing NC State skating around with it. Hooper looks like he's up.
Well, he's definitely in some pain. He's going to be heading off. We're going to get another goaltender in for the Blue Hens. Looks like it's going to be the freshman Ryan Wirtz. We saw Joseph Monty come in last night, but tonight it'll be the freshman out of Medfield, Massachusetts, making his 5th appearance for Delaware this season. A 2-1-1 record, 3.16 goals against average, and a .908 save percentage coming into this one.
We're seeing actually 2 freshman goalies here with Christie for NC State. Also 5th game this season.
So NC State will win the face-off, and that's going to wind out the rest of this power play. Still scoreless about 6 minutes in. Nick Shook plays it across and into the corner. We'll see if NC State can test Wirtz here early on in his outing. Behind the net, Shook battles for it. Knocks it loose for Brenner in the corner. He'll cut back behind the goal. Plays it along for Kaufman, who will backhand it up top. Thronson has it hop his stick. He'll have to chase after it. Behind him is Owen McManus, who puts him under pressure. And now Christie out behind the net to play. Brenner will retreat now, just trying to find some space for the breakout. Darlene plays it rink wide for Kaufman. He'll step into the zone, trying to cut to the middle. Knocked off his stick by Jacob Christian. And now Delaware will take over. Stolen right back, though, by Kaufman. He finds Thronson at the blue line. Puts it in through traffic, didn't get to the net. Delaware will clear. Icing is waved off. Christie will play it along to the near side. Darlene has it hop his stick right out in front. Christie had to steer it away. Shook plays it up the wall for Kaufman, who takes a hit at the blue line. Big hit from Shook in response. NC State was hoping to get a hand up there, I think, from Mihelios. Didn't get it. Play will continue. Darlene has space to carry it in. Leaves it for Shook. Shot just wide. NC State will hold his own. Oliver at the blue line pitches it in. He'll step in on Sharp and force the puck down into the corner. Emery Oliver working all alone. Finally some help from Gilmore trying to step out in front. Knocked off his stick. Kramer will elevate it out of the zone. NC State back for it. It's Lapani. Up the far wall. McEnany gets a touch to it. Can't control though. Engelman D to D for Flaherty. Up the middle. Weglar's bodies it down to Oliver, who touches it along for McEnany. He'll turn on a dime at the blue line. Plays it back down the wall. Stolen away by the Blue Hens. It's the captain Sharp. Breaks it out up the far side for Stam. Play to the middle for Kramer. His shot just over top of Christie and the net. And NC State trying to clear it back up that far wall. McEnany working there. Has some help from Lapani. And they eventually force it out of the zone, but not too much further than that. Shots are 5-1 right now in favor of NC State. This first period feeling a little bit more like the second period last night. NC State has played well. They don't look sloppy. They don't look out of sync. They just haven't been able to find the back of the net yet. Lapani's shot catches the glass behind the goal. Langston tries to force it out in front, and it'll deflect out of play. Offensive zone draw coming for the Pack.
I'm seeing quite a few hits here that are making me furrow my brow just a little bit in a concern for these players. It looks like Blue Hens are coming out and being really aggressive, and NC State not letting it slide and continuing to fight back on those hits. This just seems to be a lot more aggressive of a game than it might have been last night physically.
Yeah, I think you're right. Delaware's definitely trying to make this a little bit more physical game and take away some of that space that NC State was able to take advantage of last night. Shot from Frosch is swallowed up by Wirtz. Another O-zone draw. We'll get a look at that last chance for NC State. They like to set up plays off the face-off. That was one maybe a little bit broken, but still kind of worked out.
That's exactly what I was going to mention, just taking those opportunities off the face-off, getting those quick shots in, getting more shots on the net.
Langston take the draw against Josh Flom of Delaware. Flom will win it backwards where it can be taken by Aiden Getz. He'll play it off the wall and out as they weren't a ice pack defenseman there, and Corwin unable to hold the zone. Blue Hens will shoot it in and go in on the forecheck. Quick breakout up the near wall for NC State. Gifford skates it out. Play to the middle for Reese Johnson, trying to skate through Flom. Got it tied up in his skates, but gets back to the puck far side. Finds Langston. He takes a hit up high as he makes a pass, shakes it off. Looks like he'll stay in the game. Flom, good diving play on the back check by Gifford to knock it loose. NC State has it again. Frosch has it knocked off his stick. In comes Schneider to collect for Delaware. Pestered there by Corwin and Johnson, and NC State's got it. Reese Johnson up the near side for Gifford. Has it caught up in his skates, still able to play it along and give his teammates time for a change. Shot in by Leighton DeMasters. Works its way all the way around for Wagish. In the near corner, it gets caught up with Gifford pinning it to the wall. Four-man scrum there as it squirts loose to Wagish. Trying to step to the middle, it's stolen away. Darlene pushes it forward for Finch. He has Herman crossing with him. Skate to stick. The captain drops it off for Darlene. Played back along for Thronson stepping in. Through the slot, nobody gets a stick to it, but NC State still with some pressure. Herman into the middle. Finch fans on the shot. Now Delaware will take over, and Wagish skates it out. Looking cross ice for DeMasters. Darlene sticks him to the wall. NC State forces it back out into neutral ice. A little over halfway through this first period. NC State and Delaware, as they were last night in the first, are scoreless right now. We have seen NC State carry a lot of the play. 6-1 in shots right now, and that's pretty indicative of how much time the two teams have spent in their respective offensive zones as well. Stretch pass through the middle off the stick of Prasma, and they're going to blow this for icing. And I think they are going to say, I thought Prasma got a stick to it after the red line. They're going to say it was before. and so it's still icing.
Wow, just on that play, just seeing a lot of good opportunities for both teams here, especially NC State, forcing Wirtz to try and make those saves early on in this game.
Prasma forces the puck out of the zone off the faceoff, trying to fight his way through Patrick Flaherty, and he'll get into it with Engelman as he was really getting physical there, and Engelman won't let him go now.
On the ground now. We've just seen a lot of aggression, especially in this period, just from both teams.
I think these officials, they're going to have to start sending guys to the penalty box and sending a message. This is, the start of what could become a really, really rough game. Right now, Prasma in the penalty box. Looks like Engelman will get it as well, and we'll take another look at what happened right in front of the Delaware bench.
We've got about 9 minutes left in this first period. Looks like we might have some 4-on-4 action coming up. Last night, we saw some of that too. Didn't really see many goals come of it from either team.
Both teams 1 for 3 on the man advantage last night. And I'm not 100% sure what the discussion is here. I'm guessing they're going to get a pair of matching minors for roughing. But either way, I think you're right, Ben. We're going to see some 4-on-4 hockey, which should help out NC State. I think Delaware coming into tonight, you could see they wanted to be physical. They wanted to take away space from NC State quickly. And, in being physical, they wanted to make sure they knew they were there, in so many words. And I think they've done a pretty good job of that so far. And we're going to get another Delaware player into the penalty box. It's going to be Mahalios, who I'm assuming is serving a penalty for Engelman here, because I don't believe he was involved in that altercation after the fact.
That's right. We're seeing a lot of aggression from the Blue Hens early on here. Certainly sending that message, but not without a few scratches of their own. Getting Hooper out of goal. We can only hope that he's all right. But not sending Pack home without a few scratches either. It'll be interesting to see how this game continues to shape up as it goes on. The officials still talking to our teams here.
Yeah, right now as it stands, 2 Blue Hens in the penalty box, 1 Ice Pack player, that's Prasma in there. So it's looking like a power play for NC State here. And I'm wondering now, we don't obviously have the good fortune of being able to listen in on what exactly has been called to this point, but there are 2 penalties up on the board, 2 minutes for Prasma, 2 minutes for Mahalios as well, who I believe is serving that penalty for Engelman. And based on what I'm seeing there, I'd be led to believe there's a 10-minute major on Engelman, which means that he would be done until the first minute of the second period. But again, we don't have confirmation on what the call is quite yet. And Engelman is staying in the penalty box for the moment.
Ref's working on taking control of the game back, stopping that aggression before it gets out of hand too much.
Oh, now as you look down there, NC State has a player added to the penalty box as well in Talon Langston. So I think scratch everything we just said. It's 4 minor penalties that have been assessed to 2 separate players on each team. I say that, I mean, I think Engelman and Prasma are the 2 real guilty parties. They've got some help serving the penalties.
Daniel Prasma.
But they will have 4-on-4 hockey here for 2 minutes.
Daniel Prasma, 2 minutes for roughing. Served by number 17, Talon Langston.
And as I hear the PA announcer, Aaron Preston, Talon Langston is serving one of those roughing penalties for Daniel Prasma. I think it is the same for the Delaware side as well. Nick Shook will carry it through the neutral zone. Using that extra space, trying to drag around the defender and can't. It'll be swallowed up by Wirtz, and we'll get a face-off in front of the Delaware net.
Now we're hearing the frigid sound. They have a lot fuller of a band tonight than they did yesterday, even though it's a much later game. The roads are a much safer driving condition tonight, I'm sure.
NC State wins the draw. Weglar's now at the blue line. Back across, he's got Lapani. Tees one up, it deflects off the pad of Wirtz and wide. Goaltender just in the right place at the right time. Good positioning to make that save. Halfway through the 4-on-4 play. About 8 minutes left in this first period. Still looking for the first goal. Played in by Lipinski. Behind the net, Dylan Christie will set it up for Lapani. Lapani tied up in the corner. Couple of players still going at it there. But NC State will come away with it. And DeMasters pestering Lapani on that last play. Weglar skates it in with some pace. Along the goal line, shoots it across. It will direct off the boards and out. Here's Lapani again. Rink wide, he's got Weglar's. Head man for Reese Johnson. Around one defender. Between his legs, takes the shot. And it'll be held on to by Wirtz. Nifty little move there by Johnson. He couldn't get enough pace on the shot, though.
Certainly, we saw Johnson taking that puck through there, just on his own, working it through those defenders and getting that shot off at the goal. We just saw some nice play there.
NC State wins the draw. Thronson across for Dahlin. Shot stopped. Rebound thrown through there. Pinballing around the slot. It couldn't find the back of the net. Best chance so far for NC State right there. Dahlin lays a hit to knock the puck loose. Wagish comes away with it for Delaware. Quickly stripped of the puck, though, by Reese Johnson. Johnson back in. He'll take the shot from the right wing, just wide of the near side post. Thronson will hold it in. Back down low for Johnson. Behind the net, trying to play it out in front. Hacked back out as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Down low, puck trickling through. Langston couldn't get a piece of it. Delaware still just trying to clear it out and get some relief. Gifford swats it back down deep. NC State with their best line last night out there right now. Gifford had a hat trick. Talon Langston had a couple of goals as well. As Gifford takes over in his defensive end here. Jake Gifford straight through the neutral zone. Along for Dahlin. He'll cut to the net. Can't quite keep control of it as it slides across to the near side. Langston steps up, trying to keep the puck in. Unable to do so. Played back out. Austin Vecchio shoots it right into the crest of Dylan Christie's uniform, and he'll hold on to it for a face-off with 6:08 to go. Those shot totals, though, still heavily favoring NC State.
Wow, we just saw right off the draw, too, that puck ping-ponging around right in front of Ryan Wirtz for the Blue Hens. I just really thought it was going to go in there. It was a good play, keeping it out there. It was just bouncing around off of defenders, off of offensemen.
Austin Finch on the draw for NC State, wins it over Josh Flom of Delaware. And Ricky Frosch breaks it out to the blue line for Talon Langston. Trying to play it in. It'll be gloved down at the defense by Aiden Getz. NC State plays it first, so we'll continue. Flom chases down the dump in for Delaware. Throws it around the glass and out. NC State will retreat for it. Here's Jonathan Corwin. We're closing in on that time when Prasma and Engelman should come out. We should see those two back on the ice here shortly. Herman below the goal line. Out in front for Finch. Can't quite keep a hold of it as he's hauled down. And Delaware will clear it out. Lift it up the boards. Good play by Frosch. Langston knocks his man down away from the puck. We're going to carry on, at least for now. We got a penalty coming. And I think it's going to be on Josh Flom. And it'll be a slashing penalty. NC State to the power play here.
We saw him upset about something right near the red line.
I think what the Delaware side is upset with is the hit that Langston laid away from the puck that probably should have been interference. But this is where the officials are going to have to make sure that they're catching these, because we can see where this could escalate for sure.
They called those penalties earlier, but the big hits have not stopped coming. The big aggression, players
And
clearly
most
upset.
of them have been clean, good hits. So you can see there are a few times, though, where it goes on just a little bit too long after the puck is gone. Herman wins the draw to the wall. Johnson up top for Gifford, back to Herman, across for Weglars, top of the far circle. Shot stopped by the pad of Wirtz. Rebound collected by Sharp, but he can't clear. They'll battle for it along the far wall. Sharp knocks it loose. Good work by the Delaware captain as he clears it down the ice. So a 2-minute slashing penalty on Flom. About 30 seconds into that now. Gifford breaks it into the zone. His centering pass deflects back out, and NC State will reset again. Here's Reese Johnson on for Herman. He'll pick up speed through neutral ice. Zach Herman walking it down the left wing, looking for his help, rings it around the wall. Weglars on the blue line has it now. Walking the line, turns it over right to Engelman. He'll take it up with speed. Engelman dragging around Weglars, who bodies him up nicely and forces him back behind the goal. It'll get pinned there. Good work from Joey Engelman to bleed some of this penalty clock. Halfway through the power play for NC State now. Headman pass finds Holden Kaufman. He'll skate in with Nick Shook trailing. Kaufman just straight down that right wing and into the corner where he loses control, but the clearance held in by NC State's power play. McEnany has Thronson at the blue line. Looking across the line, but that pass disrupted and cleared. There's 32 seconds left on the man advantage. Here's Thronson through the legs of Kaufman. This one will be icing. And that's a tough one for NC State. 22 seconds left on the power play. Not a lot of time to win that draw and go back the other way.
Blue Hens looking like a very different team with how aggressive they're being, with most of those hits being clean, but both teams have got to work on staying out of that penalty box, because either way it's going to be bad for them. Giving that advantage to the other team is never a good thing.
Right now it's looking like NC State going to move to 0 for 2 on the man advantage tonight. One last chance to push it up the ice on the power play, though. McEnany receives it off the skate, drops it off for Shook into the middle, and it'll be knocked back out for Thronson, who takes the shot right into the breadbasket of the goaltender Wirtz. Just 8 seconds left on the power play, as NC State will have an offensive zone draw. Good chance here, though.
Good chance, certainly. Ryan Wirtz doing a good job since he's come into play very early on in this game. Doing a good job of staying in front of that puck, not letting anything in yet, despite NC State's chances.
NC State wins the draw. Prasma plays it off the wall for Lapani, who's one-timer, held on to by Wirtz. We'll get another face-off. Ice Pack going to have to keep an eye on the penalty box, though, here. 1 second left on the man advantage. And if Delaware wins this draw, they may try and spring Josh Flom out of the box. Delaware wins the draw. Thrown off the glass, but gloved down and held in by Lapani. He'll kick it down the wall. Cleared right back to him by Lipinski. And Lipinski and Lapani battle for it along the boards. Poked down low by Lapani. NC State will get in on the forecheck. Swept back out in front, but it'll be tangled up in the padding of Wirtz. And we'll get another face-off.
We've got just about 3 minutes to go in this first period. Score looking very similar to yesterday's game after the first period.
Well, one thing that is a little bit different are the shot totals. NC State outshot Delaware 11-6 in the first period last night. Shots are 11-2 right now, as NC State's Reese Johnson going to be kicked out of the face-off circle here, I believe. There he goes. It looks like it'll be Talon Langston to replace him. Not sure what drew that. And then we got another one. This time they're going to toss out Delaware. So Sharp and Johnson both tossed from the circle.
Officials choosing not to let anything slide here.
Step back in. This time, third time's the charm. Pinned in the corner. Delaware won the draw, but can't clear. Langston throws it around the boards. Chased down in the far corner by Gifford. He'll work it up the wall for Dahlin. Played back down low. Talon Langston Pushed along the wall, nobody there in a red jersey. Sharp trying to clear and can't. Gifford there to pressure. Darlene now at the blue line. Throws it off a teammate as he tries to dump it deep. Sharp collects the loose puck. He'll button hook on Johnson there and skate it out. Pushed outside for Kramer. He'll play it straight through the middle. Nobody there. NC State first to the loose puck. Gifford now receives the head man pass. Cutting to the middle. Tangled up in the high slots. Taken away. Langston now will sweep it back below the goal line. Flaherty there for Delaware. Slapped along now by Stam, and it gets past Darlene and out into neutral ice. Darlene finds Gifford on a bank pass. Poked right back to him. Gifford again. Trying to step around his man. Loses the puck. Johnson there in support. Elevates it across for Corwin. 1:44 to go in the period now. NC State continuing to put pressure on in the offensive end. They haven't gotten a whole lot of really good opportunities as of late. Centering pass there from Gifford misses everybody. And now Delaware can alleviate the pressure. Kramer forward down the right wing. Played through the middle. And it looked like NC State might draw a penalty there, but they're going to get away with it, I think. And now a whistle coming into the zone. NC State is offside, but Kramer trying to draw a rebound, I think, on that last play. And the NC State defenseman and a Delaware forward. I think you see Quinn there hopping over the boards. A little extra snow in the pants. He was the one who went down.
We're seeing NC State on the offensive time, maybe slowing down the puck a little bit, trying to play a little bit cleaner there until Delaware got away with it and had that breakaway opportunity.
Delaware controls the faceoff. Lipinski has the puck knocked away. NC State finds it. It's Finch. Floats it to the middle. Out of the air. Prasma deflects it off the side of the goal. He'll get back to the loose puck and find Frosch up top, but it hops his stick. Now it's a foot race. Wagish going to beat the NC State defenseman to it. Wagish to the net. Can't get it on goal as he gets tied up there with Christie. NC State has it in the near corner. Prasma looking across for Herman with speed, just out of the reach of the captain. And Delaware spins it right back out of the zone. Lapani in neutral ice plays it in. NC State has to check up on the delayed offside. Delaware will break it back out. 35 seconds left as Lapani shoots it in once more. Lipinski. Along for Flom. Headman pass stolen away by Lapani, who just lifts it up into the ceiling. And the face-off will be in the neutral zone here with 23 seconds to go.
This has been a pretty frustrating first period for both teams. NC State with losing one of their players and just getting those shots but not getting anything in yet, taking those big hits, getting the penalties. Both teams are going to have to be careful to not let their blood boil.
Herman wins the draw. Prasma dancing into the zone. Can't take the puck with him. Taken away by Kramer. Good pressure from Prasma. Knocks the puck loose, but Delaware continuing to control. Last 10 seconds of the period. Engelman carrying it in. Loses it in the corner. It'll get stuck there. Thronson into pressure. Kicked back behind the goal. Out in front. And just out of the reach of Brendan Stam as time expires on period number 1. Well, we're exactly where we were after the first period last night, as NC State and Delaware are scoreless, but still I think a fairly solid period from the Ice Pack, man.
Exactly where we were in the score, but not exactly where we were in the shots on goal. NC State with 11, the Blue Hens with only 3 at the end of this first period. A pretty frustrating period for both teams. Delaware losing their goalie early on, getting those penalties continually, and spending a lot of time in their own defensive zone.
Well, despite all the ozone time for the Ice.
Hey there, I'm Ben Johnson. I'm here with Jake Gifford of the Ice Pack. Jake, I just want to bring up last night again. Was that your first hat trick with the Ice Pack?
It was, yes, last night. Yep.
That was really impressive. I'm sure that felt good to get.
Yeah, felt great. It was good. Came out hard, but we took it to them in the second and third, so we just got to keep rolling here.
That's right. Speaking of that, how did you feel like that first period went? I know there's been a lot of aggression, it seems.
So yeah, it's a late night, late start, but we're going out there. It's the same as last night. We just gotta keep going, stick to our systems, and nail them.
Right, and you were mentioning like continuing to go with your systems. It looks like the Blue Hens are seeing a little bit of red out there tonight. Do you think NC State's going to have to change up anything going into this next period to keep out of that box?
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to keep going. We got to get more shots to the net, keep dumping in the pucks, playing the body, but I mean, we'll get there, so that's all we got to do.
That's right. Well, thank you very much for talking to me,
Thank
Jake.
you.
It's been great to see you. Congrats on your hat trick.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm Ben, and I'll be back with Chris in just a few minutes to talk about how that period went.
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know. Why does everyone love summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just better.
Oh, don't forget about hot ovens or hot peppers.
Hot springs, hot chocolate.
Hot sandwiches.
Ooh.
Hot soup, hot air balloons, hot yoga.
I get it. Hotter is better.
Or hot melted cheese. Sorry.
Potbelly, we bring the hot.
Men's health is worth fighting for.
Men are 3 times less likely to ask for help if they are struggling.
Nearly 100 men will lose their lives to suicide each day.
Men are more likely to suffer from substance abuse disorders.
Men need to thrive, not just survive.
We're here to champion men's wellness.
One man at a time.
We are stronger together.
The conversation about men's mental health continues.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
My name is Zach Herman. I'm the captain of the NC State Ice Pack, and I was born and raised in the Raleigh area. We are a self-funded program doing our best to represent our university and the local hockey community in Raleigh on a national level.
My name is Alex James, and I'm a senior assistant captain from Lake Norman, North Carolina. The group you're watching out on the ice is a family, and that family does its best to represent you and the rest of the NC State community as best we can each and every day. Some of my top memories from this program include playing in front of over 20,000 NC State fans at Carter Finley, playing in front of over 10,000 NC State fans at Lenovo Center every year, and getting to play in front of a packed house every Friday night at Invisalign Arena.
We welcome and appreciate all your support along the way. Go Pack!
Scoreless after 20 minutes here at Invisalign Arena. Chris Lehman and Ben Johnson with you. NC State and Delaware in their second game of the weekend. And Ben, that first 20 minutes, a little bit more physical than we saw last night, I would say.
Certainly, the score looked similar to last night, but the game certainly did not. We saw a lot of physicality from both teams, especially the Blue Hens just really coming out there with something to prove after their loss last night, I'm sure.
And for both teams, I don't think it was the best of starts, not necessarily from an actual gameplay standpoint, but if you're NC State, you lose Zach Robinson. He went down early in the game. Appeared to be, something concussion related if I had to guess there. So he is out for the game. I've already seen him in street clothes up here, so they'll be without Robinson for the rest of the game. And then in the net, for Delaware, they lose Joe Hooper, who played fantastic last night, had already made a couple of big saves for the Blue Hens early on in the game as well. So a couple of big losses on both sides.
That's right. On both sides, we're seeing the big losses, but Ryan Wirtz for the Blue Hens really picking up that slack, really doing a good job in goal in that first period. We're seeing him make some big saves, a lot of Joe Hooper-esque saves.
Yeah, and I think it, to some extent, there's a silver lining for him when it comes to getting into the game earlier. he doesn't have to sit and get cold as much as he did, or would have, as Monty did last night coming into the third period. So that maybe helps a little bit too, but I think you're absolutely right. To have the goaltender come in and make those plays is a big help and a bit of a confidence boost for the Blue Hens. On the other side, that Dylan Christie did a solid job. He only saw 3 shots, but I think he did a pretty good job of keeping himself as engaged as he could.
That's right. We're seeing a lot of good play, both defensively from both teams as well, with the Blue Hens just really working hard, fighting to get that puck away from NC State whenever they can, especially in their own zone.
And I think as you look ahead at the second period, one thing that'll be interesting to me is, will the third period last night look like the second period tonight? Because that first period was a little bit more like the second period. We didn't see a puck in the back of the net, but NC State carried a lot of the play, as we mentioned, out shooting Delaware 11-3 after one period. And they're going to wear down this Delaware team. It's the second game in this many nights. You're going to be tired. They had to take that long bus ride, which does take a toll on you as well. So I wonder how that second period will look.
That's right. It's going to be interesting to look at, as well, as I think we have maybe less fans than last night, even with the snow and the possible dangerous driving conditions. Just with such a late game, we might be seeing earlier in the game players starting to get tired. We haven't seen that yet, but it's still a possibility as we get into the second period.
All right, well, as you can see behind us is Zamboni getting close to finishing up on the ice. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be closing in on puck drop for the second period.
Have you had your Hershey's?
So there's your granddad.
All right. We need the wheel. Perfect. Very nice.
Beep, beep.
A PenFed auto loan isn't just a great rate. It's another chapter in your great adventure.
Thanks for letting me drive, Dad.
PenFed's got great rates for everyone.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
The bold Louisiana flavor and crispy crunch of Popeye's signature chicken is the meal your craving deserves. And now you can get 3 pieces for just $5 and make it a meal for only $3 more.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Feeling backed up and bloated? Good thing Metamucil Fiber Plus Probiotics Gummies work harder for your digestive system, with fiber to help promote gut health and probiotics to help relieve occasional bloating, so you can feel your best. Metamucil Fiber Plus Probiotics Gummies.
You know, most people quit their New Year's resolutions by the second Friday in January. It's called Quitter's Day. Look it up. But what if we didn't quit right after starting? Or because it's raining or something? What if we had some extra motivation? This year, what if a little bit of help on our wrists
Goal achieved.
could help us quit quitting?
Let go.
She's got it. Wow. End zone touchdown. What a play. Yeah, baby. Yeah. With so much on the line.
To be a part of this and to have my name on this trophy means a lot for a lot of reasons. One is because of my deep love for hockey. I'm not sure that any other sport requires the endurance, the determination, the toughness, the agility, the speed, the grace is hockey. When you see your first game, you're just hooked on it.
There's a very short list of people that have really helped to spark the growth of the game in North Carolina. And I can confidently say I don't think any of the four of us would be standing here right now. I don't think the growth of the game would be what it has been if he was not to light the fire of hockey in North Carolina.
He knows what our games are. He knows where to find him on TV. So it speaks to who he is.
Governor Cooper, he cares. And he cares about hockey, and he cares about these kids, and he cares about this city. And that's why this game has succeeded and why hockey is huge here in our communities, because of the support that he gave no matter what. The first game here between State and Carolina, I think we maybe had 1,500 people, 2,000, and we thought, whoa, look at this. And now we're filling a lower bowl. We're having over 25,000 people in a Stadium Series game watching these kids and the platform to produce what it's all about. And it's a community, and it goes back to the care. And when you have it from top to bottom, and you can't get any higher up than Governor Cooper of what he did for this city, it means a lot. It means a lot to these players and these programs. So thank you, Governor Cooper.
This rivalry, I've seen it grow, and the excitement of the fans who come in here has been tremendous. So I just want to thank you guys for this recognition. I'm excited about this Governor's Cup, excited about the game coming up next month, and you guys go get them.
There, another look at the comments from some of the players of NC State and North Carolina, as well as former Governor Roy Cooper and Shane Willis, former Carolina Hurricane, part of their broadcast crew now over there. But going to be a fun one coming up at the beginning of February, but a busy month and a tough month coming up for NC State. As Ben, we look ahead at the next 6 games on the schedule for NC State, all difficult ones. They're going to be at Liberty next weekend, and then that's part of the home-and-home wagon wheel series. They'll be at home on Saturday next week on Friday next week against Liberty, as the game at Liberty will be on Thursday. The weekend after that is a home-and-home series with Virginia Tech, who I got a good look at last weekend and looked very good against Chapel Hill down in Charlotte, and then back-to-back games against UNC Chapel Hill, capping things off on the 2nd of February, a 5 p.m. puck drop at the Lenovo Center for the Governor's Cup. It's going to be a heck of a month.
NC State certainly have a lot of games coming up and certainly have a lot of work to put in if they want to be winning these games.
All right, well, we're going to step aside one more time. When we come back, we'll have second period action. NC State and Delaware scoreless after 20 minutes.
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know. Why does everyone love summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just better.
Oh, don't forget about hot ovens. Or hot peppers.
Hot springs, hot chocolate.
Hot sandwiches.
Ooh.
Hot soup, hot air balloons. Hot yoga.
I get it. Hotter is better.
Or hot melted cheese. Sorry.
Potbelly, we bring the hot.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
My name is Zach Herman. I'm the captain of the NC State Ice Pack, and I was born and raised in the Raleigh area. We are a self-funded program doing our best to represent our university and the local hockey community in Raleigh on a national level.
My name is Alex James, and I'm a senior assistant captain from Lake Norman, North Carolina. The group you're watching out on the ice is a family, and that family does its best to represent you and the rest of the NC State community as best we can each and every day. Some of my top memories from this program include playing in front of over 20,000 NC State fans at Carter Finley, playing in front of over 10,000 NC State fans at Lenovo Center every year, and getting to play in front of a packed house every Friday night at Invisalign Arena.
We welcome and appreciate all your support along the way. Go Pack!
So there's your green, Dad.
All right. We need the wheel. Perfect. Very nice.
Beep, beep.
A pen-fed auto loan isn't just a great rate. It's another chapter in your great adventure.
Thanks for letting me drive, Dad.
Invis got great rates for everyone.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Hey, Devontae.
Let me get a Cantina chicken burrito in a bowl with that seasoned, slow-roasted chicken I like, please.
You have a golf course in your house?
I got a Taco Bell in my house, bro.
Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, there it is.
Cheaters don't get chicken.
Huh?
Cheaters get no chicken.
I won't give him any.
You know, most people quit their New Year's resolutions by the second Friday in January. It's called Quitter's Day. Look it up. But what if we didn't quit right after starting? Or because it's raining or something? What if we had some extra motivation? This year, what if a little bit of help on our wrists
Goal achieved.
could help us quit quitting?
Looks like it's brine time, Mom.
Dr. Garcia?
The top.
You have a Taco Bell in your house?
It's man.
Hey, Devontae.
Apologies for the technical difficulties. We're back with you here in the second period. NC State and Delaware still scoreless. Shot from Gifford off the draw is covered up by Wirtz. And just a minute into this second period, and NC State continuing to control play down at the Delaware end. Chris Lehman, Ben Johnson with you here. And Morrisville. NC State controls the draw again. Johnson skating back behind, looking out in front, nothing there. He'll hold on to it. Up top, swung across by Thronson. Dahlin's shot deflects off a stick and wide. It'll be shot up the wall by Variali, and NC State will hold the zone. Near corner. Dahlin over to Langston. Shot, or pardon me, Thronson's shot didn't get to the net. Now Langston will sweep it around the wall. Dahlin holds it in front of his own bench. Shoots it back down the wall. NC State setting up offensively. Dahlin across for Thronson. He'll pull the trigger. Save made. It'll ricochet into the corner. Langston back up top again. Cycled across from Dahlin to Thronson. Back to Dahlin. He shoots. Save made. Loose in front. They score on the rebound. Reese Johnson with the first goal, and NC State breaks the ice early in the second.
Almost 2 minutes in, and the first goal of the game has been scored by NC State, by Reese Johnson. Very exciting goal. Bounced around right in front of the goalie for a pin. Found its way to the back of the net.
Get this. I'm looking at my score sheet from last night. The first goal from Nick Shook came with 18:07 left in the second period. Exact same time that the first goal was scored last night, it was scored again tonight. We'll see if that has as an omen for the way the rest of this game will go. So NC State now out shooting Delaware 16-3, 5-0 on the period. And they have the lead 1-0. Kramer looking to respond for Delaware. Throws it in on goal. Juicy rebound off the shoulder of Christie. NC State gets to it first. Shook absorbs a hit, sends it deep for Kaufman to chase down in the corner. He'll turn as you look up close. Now Corwin, D-to-D with Frosch. Back down low for Shook. He'll play it into the middle off the pad of Wirtz. And Delaware cleans up the loose change. They'll clear it out. And up into the ceiling, so the face-off should stay in the Delaware end here.
Now we saw while our footage was down, Herman take a big hit up by the boards in the Delaware zone. He went down for a couple seconds, but it looks like he is shaking it off and is going to be playing continued in this period.
Puck played around the wall, off the draw. Corwin can't hold his own for the Pack. Kramer gets to it in the neutral zone and touches it along. Christie shoots it around from behind the goal. Pushed along by Brenner, trying to find Shook and can't. NC State will recollect as Delaware checks up on the delayed offside. Kaufman receives the pass forward from Corwin. Around his defender, takes the shot. It hit the crossbar. Wirtz was looking behind him. He didn't know where it was. 3 minutes gone in this second period. NC State looking to add to that 1-goal lead. Bouncing puck along the wall. Settled down by Brenner. He'll play it along the red line for Ricky Frosch to pick up. Frosch down the right wing. Stops around a man. Turns it over, though. Headman pass misses DeMasters. And Dylan Christie going to cover it up. That would have been a golden opportunity had Delaware been able to connect there.
Now we've seen, even after that goal, continued play from NC State in Delaware's zone, but Delaware is still fighting back, still not letting up, still trying to give it everything they got in this period.
They showed last night that they can certainly hang around. They just weren't able to keep it going for the third period. Behind the goal, Emery Oliver jars it loose. McEnany there to collect. Looking up the right wing wall, he can't clear. Down in the corner now it's DeMasters. Moved up to Engelman at the blue line. Shot through traffic. Christie in the right place and makes the save. NC State will look to break it out as they work it back to the far side. Weglers chips it up and out. Right to a blue jersey, though. Engelman playing catch with his D partner Flaherty. Back to Engelman. Push forward for Quinn. Quickly sweeps it across now for DeMasters with speed. Shoots it right off the legs of Lapani. It'll deflect back behind the goal. Delaware setting up offensively. Pass to Aiden Getz is off the mark on the blue line. NC State takes over. McEnany stepping into the zone, and they are offside as McEnany was challenged right at the blue line, and it delayed his entry a little bit.
Now I can't help notice that in these first few minutes, Delaware has been a little bit less aggressive than maybe they were the first period. Not trying to draw those penalties, but still playing good around the puck, still keeping that defense up.
There's Zach Herman back out on the ice. I think that might have been the first time I've seen him out there since he kind of hobbled off a bit, but good to see NC State hasn't lost another body for this game. We mentioned, the schedule for NC State going to be difficult coming up. Their hardest game actually probably not going to count towards their record in the ACHA is going to be on Monday as part of the alumni game, as they take on a pretty stacked crew of Hurricanes alumni. Shot from the point from Darlene, swallowed up by Wirtz. Face off in the Delaware end, but that list includes, of course, the captain of the Stanley Cup championship team, Rod Brindamore, who is, of course, the current head coach. I believe Aaron Ward, Cam Ward is on that list as well. Ray Whitney, Mike Commodore, just to name a few. But that'll be a special experience for this team, and definitely the best team that they will face this season. Shot blocked off the face-off. It hops over the stick of Darlene, and NC State will retreat. Thronson now up for Prasma. Fans on the pass, but gets it back. Now Darlene moving forward. He'll float it into the zone and step around a hit. Prasma hustles to the puck. Still loose in the slot, and Delaware will clear it away. Good job by the NC State forecheck there to make things difficult. And now Delaware ices the puck. NC State with an offensive zone draw coming.
We've seen Delaware here just continue to have to play a lot more defensively than offensively, being unable to get set up in NC State's zone, just shooting that puck in, dumping it in, being unable to chase it and find it, and NC State just getting control and bringing it right back.
NC State wins the draw. Nick Shook, that's where he scored the goal from last night. Shot blocked. Delaware collects, and they'll skate it out. It's Brady Morrow. Stood up at the blue line by Darlene. Loose puck taken by Nick Shook. And now NC State will set up the breakout. Stretch pass. Darlene off the stick of Shook. He'll chase it down behind the goal. Nick Shook working with it. He'll be forced off the puck. Good body check there from Flom. NC State, though, will maintain the zone. Brenner, a little bit of a misplay there. It will hop out of the zone, and now NC State resets again. Pass up the middle, misses everybody. This will be, oh no, they're going to wave off icing here. And NC State was going to have to deal with the defensive zone draw, but no, they won't. Delaware to break out. Plenty of space to move forward for Snyder. Played along for Flom. They'll skate it in. Thrown on goal. Directed back behind by Christie. And it's Kaufman picking it up and floating it out of the zone. Shots for the period, 6-3 in favor of NC State at the moment. They had the first 5 shots of the period. Since then, they've been outshot 3-1. And now, well, a little bit of a preemptive whistle on the icing because Christie had made a move to play it from the goal. And there's a pretty emphatic point from the linesman at the other end saying, no, that shouldn't go all the way down.
Now we saw from Delaware here just getting the puck, trying to set up, but fumbling it a little bit and giving those opportunities to State, whereas State is using their time very well when they have it in their defensive zone to get set up for those offensive rushes.
Ricky Frosch will clear it in off the face-off win for the Pack. Behind the goal, first one there is Brendan Fleming of Delaware. Blue Hens able to break it out. Fleming still. Forward from Mahalios. To the middle, looking for Fleming. Broken up nicely by Frosch. Bouncing puck, though, in on goal. Christie able to get a hold of it and avoid the chaos.
Now, I don't know how Christie kept his eye on that one because I certainly lost track of where that puck was. I couldn't tell if it was under his pads or in his glove. That little bouncing ping-ponging that we've seen happen several times in this game. Christie being able to find the puck, getting into his glove.
This game really has the feel of last night where NC State, you just feel like eventually the dam will burst for the Delaware defense. Right now, though, hanging around. Big glove save there from Christie through traffic. And Delaware will keep the pressure up. I mentioned first 5 shots of the period went to NC State. They've now been outshot 5-1 since then. So Delaware starting to tip the scales back in their favor a hair. Loose puck off the face-off. Delaware wins the battle for it. From the blue line, shot coming through traffic, just missed the net wide. Not sure if McManus got a piece in front or not. Here's McManus for Delaware. Shoots, save made by Christie. Saw it through his defenseman. Langston trying to stretch things out for Gifford. Plays it too long. Reese Johnson, though, is going to win the foot race to it and negate the icing. Excellent hustle play by Johnson. And now NC State can get set up offensively. Lapani down low for Langston, into the middle. Bouncing puck will skitter into the corner. Swept up the wall. Nobody at the blue line, though, and Weglars will back up with it. Thrown forward off the skate of Langston. Deflected right along the blue line for Gifford. Across for McEnany. Just out of his reach. Good pressure here from NC State. A little over 12 minutes left in this second period. Not quite 2 minutes into this second. It was Reese Johnson opening up the scoring. NC State leads 1-0. Here's Kramer dancing around Gifford, but can't hold control of the puck. NC State clears it out to the red line, but Flaherty slaps it back in. Weglars forward, nobody in the middle of the ice. Engelman will just shoot it right back in. NC State seeming a little bit discombobulated right now. Not quite on the same page. Puck deflects out into the neutral zone. Here's an odd man rush. Gilmore with Langston. Gilmore takes the shot. Wirtz makes the save. Langston in there for the rebound, but it's not there. And it'll be a face-off in front of the Delaware net. Good chance for the Pack.
We saw NC State towards the end there, right before that rush. They were having a hard time keeping the puck under their sticks. Just struggling to keep its bouncing in control. Letting it get out from under them a little bit, but then getting that 2-on-1 rush and almost being able to finish it off and get that in the goal.
Delaware controls the faceoff. Engelman wraps it around the wall for Lipinski. Here come the Blue Hens, looking to even things up. Lipinski played back behind the net, worked out in front by Quinn, and it misses everybody. And it looks like the net came off its moorings in the midst of that play, so the faceoff I think should be right here in the NC State end again.
Now Delaware is set up here that if they can get a quick win off the face-off, they might have a good opportunity here. They've got a good line out.
That'll be Jake Quinn on the draw for Delaware. NC State with Aiden Brenner, who wins the draw. Or pardon me, Emery Oliver, who wins the draw. Ice Pack can't break it out of the zone, though. Here's Engelman for the Blue Hens. He'll backhand it down low. First one there is DeMasters. Played back out for Flaherty. Bad touch from him. Gilmore steps around him, but shot at the length of the ice, and it's going to end up being icing.
We saw NC State through there have a little bit of a hard time clearing it from the zone. Almost got it right near the beginning of that play, but just couldn't quite get it out. It was kept in by Delaware. But then NC State eventually did get it out, but we're going to see another face-off in their zone.
So it'll be McEnany to take the draw for NC State. Jake Quinn, the face-off man for Delaware. McEnany wins it, thrown off the glass and out by the Ice Pack. Oliver putting some pressure on Lipinski, and now the puck going to be tied up. And I think NC State was offsides coming in. So the face-off out on top of the Delaware blue line here.
I feel the need to mention again here that we really do seem to be playing a different team than earlier. Delaware just being a lot less physical and aggressive than they were in the first period, but still playing good around the puck, good with their sticks, keeping NC State sticks away from the puck when they can.
Wagish clears the zone for Delaware. Dahlin under some pressure. Plays it off the wall for Oliver. Pushed forward to Gilmore. Keegan Gilmore hands it off. Shot, they score! What a finish from McEnany, and NC State up 2-0.
Up 2-0, just like they were last game around this time. Here we're going to get to watch the replay of that goal.
It was a great play up the ice altogether as McEnany gets the goal, assisted by Gilmore and then Oliver. So a 2-0 lead for NC State. Feeling a lot like period number 2 last night. Back to work at center ice. NC State will control off the face-off. Herman touches it into the middle for Prasma. He'll go to work. Played to the middle. Can't connect with Finch. NC State will maintain control. To the middle now. Shot from Prasma. Save. Rebounds. There they score. Prasma gets his own rebound, and NC State's lead is 3-0.
Have the floodgates already opened? Is NC State going to start doing what they did last night and start racking up those goals in the second period this time? I was going to say this game is feeling eerily similar score-wise, but not anymore, with NC State leading now 3-0 over the Blue Hens.
Well, and this is, I think, where NC State's going to have to be smart. Delaware's going to, I think, try and do what they did in the second period a little bit last night, start to get a little bit more physical and create some chances that way. And that's one thing that I think a lot of teams kind of know about this NC State squad, or it's been kind of their MO through a lot of the season, is if you can get under their skin, you can get them to take penalties and let you back in the games. They did a good job last night of not doing that. We'll see how things go here as they start to turn the tables here tonight. Herman on the draw. That'll be won by Virali of Delaware. NC State will put pressure on. Finch couldn't keep the zone. Here's Corwin. Bodied up in front of the Delaware bench, knocked down by McManus. Delaware can't get control on the forecheck though. Puck floated out by Prasma. Bouncing puck, settled momentarily by Herman before it's popped back up by the Delaware defense. Both teams kind of struggling to maintain control here at the moment. Prasma, most recent goal scorer, unable to force his way down the wall. And now Mahalios can carry it out. Looking to the middle, throws it right in on Christie, looking for a rebound, and Christie's not going to give it to him.
Now the Blue Hens now down 3-0. I have a feeling we might start seeing them bring back how much aggression they started this game with, just as they're feeling, I'm sure, a little bit riled up after those 3 goals. And I'm sure that they're wanting to bring back the energy that they had before they were letting in anything.
They did a really good job, as you're talking about in that first period. They took away a lot of space. They played physical. NC State, I think, has done a good job of kind of adjusting to that. Delaware with some good pressure here. Centering pass intercepted by Herman. He'll gain the red line and shoot it in. Wirtz plays it into the corner. Prasma collects the loose puck. Finch down low for Herman. Out into the middle, can't connect with Prasma. Finch coming off the goal line. He'll be knocked off the puck there by Brendan Stam. And Delaware able to clear it out of the zone. NC State takes back over, though. Corwin shoots it in. Delaware works from the defense. Lipinski. Stolen away. Here's Brenner for NC State. Wirtz, who will hold on to the rebound.
Delaware on their back foot here, being down by 3 goals, but not out of the game yet. We've still got a period and just under a half to go, about half game time left. Delaware down, but not out yet.
NC State, though, certainly seems to have them down on the mat right now. Bronson clears it back in. Glove down smoothly by Engelman, who will skate forward with it. Knocked off the puck along the far wall, and NC State will set back up. Bronson backhanded forward for Talon Langston, who shoots it in. Off angle shot there from Johnson, misses the net. Reese Johnson has had a solid game for NC State tonight, picked up the first goal. Had a couple of assists last night too. Darlene with the shot for the deflection. Langston couldn't direct it on goal. And now Delaware can't clear again. Thronson at the blue line. Down for Gifford. Backhands it back up top for Thronson. Has room for the shot. Big blocker save there from Wirtz. He'll be backhanded around by Flaherty. And again, NC State holds the zone. Darlene pinching in this time. Down below the goal line. Get a look at it up close. There's Engelman. Diving play there. Trying to knock it loose was Johnson. Gifford gets to the loose puck first. He'll throw it right back behind. On NC State, just making this as hard as possible on Delaware. Took about 4 attempts before they finally successfully broke out of the zone. And now Gifford will shoot one in from the blue line. And Wirtz will glove it for a face-off.
Wow, I mean, wow. NC State just continuing to hammer those shots home. Continuing to put Wirtz to the test. Seeing if they can rack up the score more. We're just seeing a lot of shot opportunities from them, making it really hard for Delaware to get out of that zone.
NC State maintains possession off the draw. Gilmore walking in, backhander saved by Wirtz, and he'll jump on the rebound. Nice play in tight by the goaltender to hold on to that. NC State had players all over the blue paint there.
We'll get another face-off in Delaware zone, it looks like, and we've seen multiple goals come off of this last game. Let's see if we can watch that happen again here.
Off the face-off, good work by Keegan Gilmore. Spends most of his time really playing on the back end for NC State, but saw him moved up, I think, after Robinson went down. And he's looked good up front for NC State as well. Very noticeable. Under 5 to go in the second period. NC State has opened up a 3-goal lead here in the second. See if Delaware can answer before the end of the period. Mahalios knocked off the puck. Delaware wanted a call there and didn't get it. Back behind the goal, NC State has the loose puck. Moved forward by Emery Oliver. Plenty of space down the right wing. Looking to the middle, can't connect there with Gilmore, but he'll knock it off the stick of a Delaware defender. And Olinsky. Back behind the net, they fight for it. Cleared up the wall, held in by Weglars. Oliver gets to the rebound, sends it up for Lapani. D-to-D with Weglars. Back to Lapani. His shot through traffic off the pad of Wirtz. Prasma to the rebound in the corner. Fans on the pass. Delaware able to clear. Lapani tried to hold the zone, but couldn't.
Now we saw a good opportunity from Delaware there, but Corwin said no. He would not let that puck stay in his team's zone, and he did not let Delaware get that shot off.
4 minutes left in the second period now. Face off on top of the Delaware blue line. It'll be Herman up against Sharp, the two captains. NC State wins that draw. To the middle for Prasma. Gets caught up in his skates. Delaware clears it out. It's a foot race for the puck. Stam there. Around a diving defender. Stam behind the goal. Looking over his options. Trying to square up. No shooting lane though. And he'll just play it down into the corner. Walked back up by Kramer. He'll sweep it across the blue line. Floater coming across for an open teammate there in Sharp. Rebound is there, and a save made by Christie. He'll hold on for the faceoff.
Looks like the puck may have ended up under his pads there. I'm not quite sure. A little hard to tell, but certainly a close save and a good one.
Well, and Dylan Christie, you'd have to put him up next to Addison Lawrence. I think he's probably the biggest goaltender on the NC State roster, so positioning really kind of the most important thing for him. If he can be in the right position, his size can do a good amount of the work for him. I think that was part of it there, just staying in the right spot and being able to swallow up the shot. Delaware maintains the zone off the draw. Kramer played across for Downey. His shot swallowed up by Christie. It's loose underneath of him, and Delaware unable to hack it in. Christie without his stick now as Finch slides it back to him. And it looks like they're going to blow the play dead as the net is off the moorings again.
Wow, Christie losing his stick there. The puck bobbling in front. Delaware unable to finish it. Pack defenders doing a good job getting in front of it, helping their goalie out there.
So another defensive zone draw. Oh, no, it won't be. It's going to actually come out on top of the NC State zone, right in front of the Delaware bench here. Herman to take the draw for NC State up against Brendan Stam of Delaware. Herman wins it. Over to Weglars on the far side. He'll power down the left wing. Defenseman skates it in, looking to the middle for Prasma. It's on and off his stick. Prasma throws it off the side of the goal as he's wrestled down behind the net. Lapani steps in, drops it off for Herman. Moved along to Weglars' far side. Jackson Weglars walking in, snaps his stick. That's the second broken stick, I think, for Weglars this game. I know there have been two broken twigs, and it's both defensemen. I don't remember who it was in the first, though. Played forward for Nick Shook, and it looks like we've got a delayed penalty here against NC State. Or no, pardon me, this will go against Delaware. And it's going to be the captain, Sharp, going off for 2 minutes.
Another opportunity for NC State to score off a power play here and get the first power play goal of the game. NC State's been doing a very good job this period of staying out of that penalty box. We've also seen Herman, whenever he's in the face-off, he's been winning, and he's been impressively doing that and generating those opportunities for NC State continually.
It'll be Kaufman on the draw here for NC State, up against Vincenzo Variali. And NC State gonna have to retreat as the faceoff gets out of the zone. Shook. Loose pressure from Flom behind the net. He's gonna pick up speed moving forward. Stride for stride, there is Flom. Shook stops on a dime as he gains the zone. Sets it up for Thronson. Moved along to Prasma near side. He'll elevate it across. Glove down by Shook. Right back into the middle. That one's intercepted by Varielli and sent the length of the ice. Here's Prasma. 40 seconds gone on the man advantage now. Nick Shook walks it into the zone down the right wing, throws it on goal. Save made by Wirtz, and we'll get a face-off to his glove side here in a moment.
We've seen throughout this game NC State getting a lot of centering passes with no one there to accept it or just out in front of someone. If NC State can be getting those passes reined in just a little bit, we might be seeing a lot more goals in this period. We've got about minute 15 left in this power play, and we'll see if NC State can score our first power play goal of the period, or the game, rather.
Ice Pack 0 for 2 so far on the man advantage. Face-off pops up in the air and ends up in the Ice Pack bench. So we'll try it again. 1:14 left on the power play. Ice Pack control the draw. Thronson for Shook. Looking things over, played down the wall for Kaufman. Back up to Shook. Along the line, Thronson touches it down low, trying to connect there with Prasma, who hacks it out in front. Shook with the shot. Save made by Wirtz. Not sure how he saw it through the traffic, but Delaware able to clear, and they'll kill more time. Set on a tee. And picked up by Herman. Flying down the ice to the middle. That pass slipped past everybody. Herman will find the loose puck on the near side. Worked back across. Looking to the middle again. That pass denied. Delaware trying to clear, but it'll be held in at the blue line by Weglars. 1 minute left in the period. 24 seconds of power play time. Pass across for Gifford, and he sent it wide. I think he might have been looking for Langston in the middle with an extra pass. Beautiful move there from Johnson. Worked back around to the near side corner. It misses Herman. Delaware will take it over. Can't clear, though, again. Weglars from the blue line. Shot. Save made by Wirtz. Rebound cleaned up and cleared out by Delaware. Flom out of the box. He'll put a little bit of pressure on Dylan Christie as NC State clears it back out. Trying to glove down the clearance was Getz. Had trouble with it. Now Weglars gets knocked down. And he and Getz will have a couple of words.
Tempers between this defenseman running high right now. It'll be interesting to see what the refs call, if anything, off this.
And they'll just send them back to their respective benches. 20 seconds left here in the second period. NC State out shooting Delaware 18-11 this period, outscoring them 3-0. They're looking just to close this period out and take that 3-goal advantage into the locker room. Emery Oliver on the draw for NC State. It'll be the captain, Ethan Sharp, for Delaware. Oliver wins it back for Gilmore. His shot hits a stick and ends up in the netting behind the goal. And we'll try again with about 17 seconds left now.
Looks like we'll see another face-off in Delaware zone. NC State's probably looking just to maintain their 3-0 goals here.
Delaware wins the defensive zone draw. Engelman trying to clear. Getting a touch to it and keeping it in. Thronson, now some help from Gilmore. Blue Hens able to clear it out eventually. They'll move into the zone. One last chance in the final seconds as it slides back behind the goal. And that's where the clock will run out on period number 2. So NC State, after a pretty strong first period, starting to put some goals up on the scoreboard, Ben, in the second.
That's right. We saw there a good chance from Delaware off that face-off, working it down the ice, being stopped, just getting that pressure, just being unable to finish that. We've seen NC State continue throughout the entire period to apply that pressure, make it very hard for Delaware to get set anything offensively. We've seen NC State scoring this period and ending it with a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, well, it was Reese Johnson opening the scoring just under 2 minutes in, followed by Thomas McEnany, and then 22 seconds later, at about the halfway point of the period, Daniel Presma. And that's where it stands. 40 minutes down, 20 to go. NC State with a 3-0 lead.
Hey there, I'm Ben Johnson here with Alex Fong, one of the assistant coaches for IcePack. Now, Alex, this game has been, we ended the first period scoreless, and then NC State ending the second period with a 3-0. What are your overall impressions of this game so far?
Yeah, I think it's just pretty simple. They've shown a little bit of a push here, which is, what we've expected, but it's just when we move our feet, we score and we do good things, and when we kind of let off the gas, that's when things go badly.
Right, and as I said a little bit before, NC State ending the first period scoreless and the second period with 3 goals.
Yeah.
What do you think, if anything, that you could point to might have made that change in the score?
It's just effort. It really is just effort. When we're moving our feet, when we're laying bodies, we're hard to stop, but when we don't, we're not very hard to play against.
So now that you have this 3-0 lead going into the third period, what's going to be the mindset for the IcePack here as they start to play?
Yeah, it's building good habits. Next week is our toughest test with Liberty, and so we got to start building those habits now. Getting pucks deep, harder on the forecheck, laying bodies. If we do that, we're going to close out this game strong and put us in a good position for next week.
Absolutely. It's going to be an exciting game next week too, I'm sure. Well, I'll be back with Chris in just a few minutes to talk to you about how that period went.
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know. Why does everyone love summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just better. Oh, don't forget about hot ovens or hot peppers. Hot springs, hot chocolate. Hot sandwiches.
Ooh.
Hot soup, hot air balloons, hot yoga.
I get it. Hotter is better.
Or hot melted cheese. Sorry.
Potbelly, we bring the hot.
Men's health is worth fighting for.
Men are 3 times less likely to ask for help if they are struggling.
Nearly 100 men will lose their lives to suicide each day.
Men are more likely to suffer from substance abuse disorders.
Men need to thrive, not just survive.
We're here to champion men's wellness.
One man at a time. We are stronger together.
The conversation about men's mental health continues.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, IcePack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all IcePack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
My name is Zach Herman. I'm the captain of the NC State IcePack, and I was born and raised in the Raleigh area. We are a self-funded program doing our best to represent our university and the local hockey community in Raleigh on a national level.
My name is Alex James, and I'm a senior assistant captain from Lake Norman, North Carolina. The group you're watching out on the ice is a family, and that family does its best to represent you and the rest of the NC State community as best we can each and every day. Some of my top memories from this program include playing in front of over 20,000 NC State fans at Carter Finley, playing in front of over 10,000 NC State fans at Lenovo Center every year, and getting to play in front of a packed house every Friday night at Invisalign Arena.
We welcome and appreciate all your support along the way. Go Pack!
Chris Lehman and Ben Johnson back with you here at Invisalign Arena. Early in the morning now here in Morrisville, North Carolina. 3-0 lead for NC State. Still got 20 minutes to play, though. And I think if you're NC State, you got to just continue to do what you do. And I think discipline, name of the game with the way that things have kind of gotten a little chippy away from the puck.
That's right. Just the aggression as well of just both teams here. Just making some big hits, mostly staying out of the penalty box. But just we got to look at for both teams here, not wanting to get their players put in the penalty box, give the other team that man advantage, and just continue to play clean and play like that.
Well, I think if you go back after the first period last night for NC State, the last 4 periods, fairly consistent level of hockey. They've looked good. The finishing wasn't there in the first period tonight, but other than that, I think it's been a really consistent product from this NC State team, which going into the end of the season, as we talked about in the last intermission, the upcoming schedule being as difficult as it is, you want to see that consistency.
That's right, and you mentioned the consistency of NC State, where I would like to bring up just maybe the differences we've seen in the Blue Hens here.
Absolutely.
Just in third period last night, letting in a lot of shots. First period here, though, coming out of the gate really aggressive, really strong, not letting anything in. Maybe letting NC State get the puck more than them, but not letting any goals. And in this period, they've let a couple slip in, but they're still out here. They're still playing, still getting their sticks to the puck, and still trying to move that puck down the ice.
Absolutely. I think what you're really starting to see is that their NC State is just kind of wearing down Delaware. You talked about how they looked in the first period. They looked good in the defensive zone, took away a lot of space. They were physical. I think NC State adjusted to that. They were able to find some extra space, and since then, Delaware hasn't quite been able to find their footing.
That's right, and NC State also has been winning a lot of those face-offs, getting possession of the puck, and just being able to get those shots off quick, and just to move the puck down the ice and get set for their offensive plays, whereas the Blue Hens have struggled a bit in getting set for those offensive plays, just NC State continuing to apply that pressure to them.
Well, now, as you can see behind us, Zamboni just about finished up, so we'll have 20 minutes of hockey left. As we look ahead to this third period, as mentioned for NC State, discipline's going to be important. I think they're going to have to be very aware on the ice, too. This Delaware team has ratcheted up the physicality. NC State has responded in kind as well, which has just kind of led to a little bit more tension.
Absolutely, and that also brings up one of the other key points we brought up at the beginning of it's getting late, or rather early now. The players are going to need to keep the energy up for both teams. It's going to be a struggle, I'm sure, as we get into this third period.
Well, we're closing in on the puck drop for the third period, so we'll take one more break. When we come back, we'll be ready to finish things up here at Invisalign Arena. McEnany. Just about 1 o'clock in the morning now here in North Carolina. Chris Lehman, Ben Johnson with you. Happy to have anyone who's been able to stay up with us here for this third and final period. NC State, as they did last night, scoreless with Delaware after period number 1, but a little bit better showing than they had in the second period last night, at least in terms of the goal scoring. 3-0 lead headed to the third. As we take a look at how we got there, it started early on in the period. It was Reese Johnson cleaning one up in front just under 2 minutes in that gave NC State that 1-0 lead. Then it wasn't until about the halfway point of the period that we saw somebody strike again. It was Thomas McEnany finishing it off with 10:26 to go in the second, and just 22 seconds later, Daniel Prasma got to his own rebound and made it a 3-0 lead. That is where we stand. NC State, though, one thing they might want to see a little bit of improvement on is the special teams. 0 for 3 on the power play tonight.
Now, you mentioned the time there, Chris, almost 1 a.m., and it seems that the crowd even has thinned a little bit, but what is not thinned is the spirit of the Frigid Sound here, continuing to play, continuing to pump up our team. We're going to see if just the thinning crowd is going to affect the home team here at all. But they're just looking pretty good going into this third period.
So a fresh 20 minutes up on the clock. You get a look there at NC State coming out onto the ice for this third and final period. So we mentioned big schedule upcoming for the Ice Pack, an exhibition game against the Carolina Hurricanes alumni on Monday at 7 o'clock at Lenovo Center. Then they'll have the Wagon Wheel Series with Liberty on Thursday and Friday next week. The week after that, it's a home-and-home with Virginia Tech, and then a pair of games in the final weekend of the regular season against North Carolina as well. So a busy and tough schedule upcoming for NC State. They look to finish off a 2-game sweep this weekend of Delaware in this one here tonight. But Delaware, they haven't shown a whole lot of offensive punch throughout the course of this weekend, but they've at least kept themselves within striking distance.
That's right. And as I talked about a little bit with Alex, it's just going to be a tough game next week as we get underway here.
That'll be Delaware controlling off the face-off. Played up the far wall, pushed along now for Flom. He'll break it into the zone, throws it right in on Christie, who holds on to the puck for a face-off just 14 seconds into the period.
I want to mention the shots on goal here. It's looking like NC State is leading them 29 to about 15 for Blue Hens, here with 3 goals to show and none for the Blue Hens.
Flom wins the draw. Shot from Engelman hits somebody on the way in. Now Flaherty's shot deflects wide. Lapani shoots it up the far wall. Engelman holds the line. Moves it down the wall for Morrow. Back behind the goal. Lapani bodied up there by Flom, able to absorb the contact and play it along for Nick Shook. Shook breaking it out. He's got Brenner moving forward. They can't connect. And now Flom receives the pass. Steps around Darlene. Loose puck though, and it's NC State with control. Shook shoots it off the glass and out. Now Lipinski. His pass hits a stick and pops up out of play. So a face-off in neutral ice here. Not even a minute gone in this third period. And Delaware has come out with a little extra jump, and I think NC State just a hair flat. Off the face-off, Herman wins it for the Pack. Thronson cross for Darlene. Now to Herman, and his deflection misses the net. They will wave off icing, though. And play will continue. Lipinski. Backhand pass to the corner. Mahalios can't clear. Shot right back in by Darlene. Herman out in front, bouncing puck. Finch can't settle it down. And now Delaware will collect the loose puck. It's McManus. Stolen away from him. Herman's pass to the middle, doesn't have a recipient. And it'll be cleared out by the Blue Hen defense. Prasma back across for Finch. It hops his stick. Lipinski trying to play with the bouncing puck. Both teams struggling to control it at the moment. Lipinski wins the board battle. Able to chip it off the wall and out, but not past the red line. Darlene was there to shoot it back. Now Finch forces it into the zone. Good play at the blue line by Herman. Turns it over. Now for Prasma. Shot pad save made by Wirtz. Prasma, leading goal scorer for this NC State team. Had a couple last night, has one tonight. On the season, 24 goals in as many games for Daniel Prasma. Good hustle play there by Sharp to hold the zone. Having trouble settling it down until he gets behind the goal. He'll walk it back up the wall. Turns on a dime with it. Backhand to the middle for Kramer, on and off his stick. Reese Johnson collects for the Pack. Finds Langston on that right wing. Looking to the middle, fans on the pass to Gifford. It's turned over, and now Delaware has numbers moving back the other way. Kramer into the zone. Stepping around Corwin. Spinning pass back to the middle. It's directed wide by Sharp, who gets back to it behind the goal. Kramer back up top. Downey's shot. Sticked away there by Christie, who saw it the whole way. Now Frosch up the wall for Johnson. Now Gifford receives the headman pass. Looking over his options to the middle for Johnson, who can't get to it, and the loose puck pounced on there by the goaltender Wirtz.
We saw an interesting 3-on-2 rush there from NC State, where NC State, rather than picking up a lot of speed, seems to have actually slowed down a little bit to try and use their man advantage and pass that puck around to generate possibly a better opportunity for a shot.
They will get an offensive zone draw here at least. McEnany to take the face-off on the near side of the Delaware goal. 16:57 to go in the game. And actually a face-off over on the far side. Oliver to take the draw up against Quinn of Delaware. And Delaware wins the face-up. Engelman plays it around. Slowly trickling out for Wagish. He'll pitchfork it across to the other side. Lapani, the first one there for NC State. Forward for Oliver, who breaks into the zone. Turnaround shot from Gilmore, sticked up into the netting by Wirtz, and the face-off will stay in the Delaware end again. I mentioned that it seemed like Delaware kind of came out a little bit hotter to start this third period. NC State has kind of settled things down, though.
Now, I know if I'm Delaware here, I'm trying my hardest to not think about third period last night and about how the second period has gone. And they seem to have been doing a good job of that, starting out strong, as you mentioned, Chris, and just really using their aggression a bit like we saw at the beginning of the game.
And we'll see another offensive zone draw. It was covered up pretty quickly there by Wirtz off the faceoff. NC State wins the draw. Shot from Gilmore doesn't get through. There were 3 blue jerseys in the way. And they'll break it out now. Blue Hens moving forward. This is DeMasters. Leighton DeMasters' shot deflects up and out of play. And the faceoff now in the NC State end with 16:26 to go.
Now, I mentioned before, we haven't seen one in a minute, but NC State has been getting those centering shots just with no one there quite to finish it off. And if we start seeing those players there and start seeing those shots calm down just a little bit, we might start seeing these goals rack up like they did last night.
McEnany pitches it out of the zone. This is going to be a foot race to negate icing. Gilmore does a good job getting there before Flaherty. Behind the goal, they'll fight for it. Gilmore comes away with it. Puck knocked off his stick, though. Delaware takes over. It's Leighton DeMasters. Pass to the middle, hits a stick, and hops over to the near side. Jake Quinn first to it. Has some trouble there against McEnany. Gilmore finds the loose puck, and then his pass to the middle, intercepted by Wagish. Chips it around Darlene and takes it in. Wagish's shot blocked on the way in by Thronson. Now Darlene plays it off the wall. Shook picks it up. He'll make his way down into the offensive end. Sweeps one out to the middle. Intercepted, though, by Getz, and he'll pitch it out of the zone. Still a 3-0 lead for NC State. Last goal was Prasma's about halfway through the second period. Now Darlene. Play it across for Thronson, who's got plenty of time and space. Back rink wide for Kaufman. Protects the puck past one defender. Into the corner, he stops. Back up top, Darlene. Shot stopped by Wirtz, and he'll swallow up the rebound. Well, it's felt like a little bit of a choppy start to this third period. A lot of stopping and starting. Only 4 minutes and 47 seconds into this third, as Delaware wins another defensive zone draw, but can't clear. Shook drops it off for Darlene. Down low, it'll work all the way behind the goal. Brenner chasing after it in the near corner. Pushes it along for Shook. Back up to the high slot. Darlene shot and another save for Ryan Wirtz.
We've seen NC State.
Now Nick Shook and Josh Flom with a couple of words for each other. Flom kind of not letting go of Nick Shook. But that's where I think if you're NC State, and this is a wise decision from the officials, I'm assuming they're taking both of them here for matching penalties. And this is how you've got to find a way to kind of settle this game down, and this is kind of how you do it.
Looks like that's going to be Shook from State and Flom from Delaware. Getting these offsetting penalties, 2 minutes of 4-on-4. About 15 minutes left to go in this third period.
So some extra space out there to work with now. As I said before, I think this situation favors NC State, gives them more room to work. They'll set up in the offensive zone. Darlene steps into one. Hits a stick with the shot. That was Stam getting in the way. NC State back behind the goal now. It's Kaufman. Walking back up top, throws it across. No defenseman on that far side. That's going to create a chance here for Delaware. Lots of speed for Stam, and a shot stopped there by Dylan Christie. And we'll get a stoppage as it deflects out of play. But you can see both these teams kind of giving it a little bit extra, and we're going to get 2 more penalties. And this is the officials saying, or at least 1 more penalty on Darlene. I think it was a little bit of a late hit after the whistle. That's a bit of a freshman mistake there from Darlene in a game where the emotion's getting to you a little bit. And so it will now be 4-on-3 for 1 minute and 38 seconds. Big opportunity here for Delaware to try and make this game interesting early on in the third period. Good face-off win by Zach Herman, who head straight to the bench after that. Cleared all the way down by Weglars, and NC State will set up the penalty kill. Kramer into the zone. Stops on the hashes. Back down into the corner. Engelman walking with it, looking for some help. Finds Kramer. Off-angle shot. Stopped and held on to by Christie.
Now, at the beginning of this period, it looked like NC State was maybe not slowing down any kind of plays, but just slowing down the speed of the puck if they can a little bit, trying to take their time and make that space. Well, now they've got a lot of space to work with only 3 men on the ice.
Shot off the draw, trickles in. There's the goal they needed. And Delaware back within 2. I believe it's Kramer on the power play. And these Blue Hens not going away.
NC State just struggling with that off the 3-on-4. Seeing Delaware score off of that.
And it will be back to 4-on-4 hockey for NC State and Delaware. 1:02 left in the period. And 13:59 left in the game. Herman and Prasma, the forwards, out there for NC State with Thronson and Darlene. Lipinski tries to win it forward for Delaware and can't. He's out there with Sharp. On the back end, it's Engelman and Flaherty. There's Engelman playing catch with Sharp. Prasma putting some pressure on. Now Sharp turns it over right in front. Down to the pads goes Wirtz to make the save on Herman. Could have been a costly turnover for the Blue Hens there. It's a 3-1 hockey game. Delaware won't go away. NC State can't shake them. Down to the last 20 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey here. Wagish through the neutral zone. Lost the puck, got back to it, gave it a hack, and couldn't put it past Christie, who makes the save. Pretty good hustle play there from the defenseman. And now Thronson in the corner under some pressure from Wagish. Sharp in to help as well. Puck pops out. NC State has it. Prasma forward. We're back to full strength on both sides. Herman now looking to the middle, off the stick of Wirtz, up in the air to the near corner. Langston to the loose puck for the Pack. He'll just sweep it around the wall. Wagish in that far corner. Getting some pressure there from NC State's Dahlin. Herman to the puck now. Good offensive zone pressure here from the Ice Pack. Bronson can't receive the pass there from Herman. A little bit of a miscommunication and a chance here for Varielli. His shot off the blocker of Christie and out of play with 12:21 to go. But Ben, we're starting to see Delaware after that goal claw their way back into this one.
That's right. We talked about the beginning of the game, and we've talked about it almost every break we've had. That discipline really is going to matter this game, with NC State being able to stay out of the penalty box. We saw that Delaware was able to get their goal off the man advantage, and just bringing that game to only a 2-goal lead for NC State.
Reese Johnson gets to the loose puck, finds Gifford forward. He'll cross over on the blue line. Finds Frosch, back across looking for Johnson, and it deflects wide. Delaware takes back over. Moved forward by Varielli. Rink wide trying to connect there with Mahalios, and they come in off sides as that one was mishandled. A little over 8 minutes gone here in this period. And NC State with a 3-1 lead. The Blue Hens have eaten into it a little bit with a power play goal early in the period. And a lot of credit here to Delaware after the way last night's game ended and how the second period tonight went. They could have really just kind of hung it up and kind of put it on cruise control. They are not going to go away without a fight, though, here. Here's Gifford in the neutral zone. Across for Langston, who's in off sides. And NC State will have to come back out for the face-off in neutral zone.
NC State is going to be having to work here. Delaware is not just making it easy, not letting them hold on to their 3-goal lead. Just coming out here, playing a hard position down 3 goals, but we've got over half of the last period left. It's plenty of time to see what either team can do.
NC State controls the draw. Weglars will float it into the zone. Engelman has it at the defense for Delaware, throws it off the glass, takes an awkward bounce, and NC State looking to take advantage of that. Gilmore behind the goal. Bodied up there by Flom, who takes it away and clears the zone. Weglars now. Headman pass for Emery Oliver. Engelman knocks it off his stick, and Weglars will shoot it in. Worked around the wall by Flaherty. Up top, Lapati's shot doesn't get to the net. Loose puck collected at the blue line by George Schneider, carrying it in. Poked away from him by Weglars. And NC State's Gilmore trying to push it forward, but can't. Still plenty of time for Delaware, especially now that they've gotten one on the board. And you can see a little bit of more confidence in the Blue Hens right now.
NC State's play may be getting just a little bit sloppy, maybe a little bit rattled after they're losing their 3-goal lead.
Shot from Shook, fought off there by Wirtz. Kaufman after the rebound in that far corner, working 1-on-3. He wins the battle. Kaufman tied up, moving out in front. He takes a hit there and loses the puck. Kramer moving forward. He'll be stalled out in front of the NC State bench. Puck actually ends up in the Ice Pack team area there. And so the face-off will be down in front of Dylan Christie.
Now we're still seeing some good defensive plays from NC State. Just continuing to poke that puck away from the Blue Hens forwards.
Kaufman wins the draw to the wall. Plenty of time to work things out for NC State. It'll be rainbowed out of the zone. Drops right in front of Aiden Brenner, who will knock it deep. Shook in on the forecheck. He staples his man to the wall. Puck pinned there as well. In to help is Brenner, working against Jake Quinn. And it turns into a 4-man scrum there below the goal line. Stuck in the skates of Nick Shook right now, who's got it tied to the wall. They finally work it loose. NC State has it. Back up to the blue line. Thronson settling a bouncing puck, and some pressure from Wagish deflects it out of play and into the Delaware bench.
We're seeing from both teams here, NC State not giving up their lead if they can help it, continuing to play defensively, but Blue Hens not making it easy, continuing to get that puck down the ice. We've certainly seen it spend a little bit more time in the Delaware zone, especially recently.
Well, Delaware will win the faceoff on top of their own blue line. Headman pass, though, stolen away by Nick Shook. He'll walk into the zone onside. Knocked off his stick, though. Ricky Frosch pinches in to hold the zone. NC State defenseman loses it, but right to Shook, who tries to give it back behind the goal, and it's taken away by the Delaware defense. And this will be a hand pass on Delaware. It was swatted down by Lipinski, or pardon me, by Wagish, and then played immediately by Delaware.
We've seen a lot of play here from both teams. Just trying to get that puck, move it around. Delaware trying to break it out of their zone. NC State struggling to get it towards the net, especially recently as of the last few minutes. We've got less than half the period to go to the end of this game.
Clearance just gets past Deline and out, who tried to knock it down with a glove. He'll move it across for Thronson, who shoots it down low. Prasma in on the forecheck, bodies his man up, knocks the puck loose. Prasma has it, steps around one man, walking around Wirtz, but he can't stuff the puck in. Great individual effort by Daniel Prasma, just couldn't quite finish it off. Here's Herman, stepping around a hit from Wagish, can't take the puck with him. Jake Quinn will pick it up, and Delaware goes back the other way. Well played defensively, Thronson clears it out. Engelman shoots it right back down. Now Wagish up for Flaherty, whose shot deflects wide. First one to the rebound is Vincenzo Varielli. Kicked along the wall by Engelman. Now NC State takes over. Dahlin takes a hit and dumps it deep. First one there, Herman, so no icing. Out in front, just under the stick of Prasma, who would have had a point-blank chance to reestablish that 3-goal NC State lead. Puck stalled out along the red line. Prasma going in there after a hit, ended up missing and left the puck there for Delaware to pick up. Loose puck at the blue line. Johnson steps around Engelman, loses it right to Talon Langston. Turnaround pass, can't connect with Gifford. Here's Langston behind the net now. Under 7.5 to go in this one. Langston forces it down low. Too many blue jerseys in that near corner, though, and it'll be cleared out and all the way down by Owen McManus. Icing will be waved off. Perfectly placed there by McManus to give his team plenty of time to change. Here's Johnson. Looking to the near side, just out of the reach of Gifford. This one will be icing, and NC State has to retreat to their own end here.
Delaware doing a good job of not letting NC State get that space that they like to use. The players are all over the state players, poking the pucks away whenever they can. NC State is still getting their opportunities towards the net, though, as are both teams. We've got just about 7 minutes left to go in this period. Still could see Delaware start to score here.
Pitchforked out of the zone by Weglars. NC State will move with it through the neutral zone. Langston throws it in and actually throws it out of play as it went straight into the netting. This faceoff should be in neutral ice, but if NC State feels the need to, since this was the line stuck out there on the icing, they could make a change here. I think that line of Johnson, Gifford, and Langston will remain on the ice.
That line has been doing a very good job this game and last game. So Gifford get a hat trick last game, and Johnson scoring the first goal this game as well.
Quickly through the neutral zone goes Brady Morrow down that left wing. NC State has a man upended in front of the net, but will carry on here. Langston looking things over. His team needs to change, but he doesn't have any good options, so he'll turn it back into the NC State zone. Weglars now. Chips it along, looking for McEnany, and it's stolen away by Kramer. He'll carry it in. Kramer, little hesitation there, moves around Lapani and pushes it back behind the goal. Worked around the wall, Delaware still in control. Up top, one-timer coming, hit a stick on the way, or a skate rather, on the way through, and gets his shot, never got to the net. Now in transition, it's Gifford. He'll be bodied up nicely there by Getz. The captain sharp back to help out. Moves forward for Snyder. Finds Kramer, who walks around Frosch. Nice recovery there from the NC State defenseman. And an errant pass will give the puck back to NC State. Here's Emery Oliver. He'll switch places with Gilmore. A little bit off on the pass, though. McEnany there at the blue line, and it gets caught up in the skates of Gilmore. That gives time to Delaware to move out. Big blocker save there as Christie comes out to challenge the shot by Stam. Another good chance coming. Block made in front by Frosch. Stam with two great chances there, unable to put one home. Engelman steals the stretch pass as he gloves it out of the air. He'll work back up the right wing for Delaware. Fans on the initial pass, sweeps it across. Oh, and it's punched just wide by Kramer. A sprawling Christie was there to make the save if it was on goal. Shot blocked again by Frosch. And now NC State has the time to move it out. Emery Oliver trying to split a pair of Blue Hens. Able to make his way into the offensive zone before he loses it. And then he'll head off for a change. Under 5 to go. Still time for Delaware to strike a couple and even things up, but they're starting to run low on time. Turnover at the blue line. Bad breakout pass by Flaherty. Shot from Shook. Easily handled on a bad angle shot by Wirtz. Darlene at the blue line. He'll shovel it back in, and it ends up in the netting and out of play.
If NC State can score another goal here, I'm sure they'd be feeling a little bit more comfortable as we go into these last few minutes. We've got just about 4.5 left. We've seen NC State here maybe struggle a little bit offensively, getting the puck out from under their skates, but not defensively, with making some good saves, some good goalie saves, and some good defenseman saves with their bodies.
Kaufman on the face-off against Jake Quinn. They'll force it to that far wall, pinned there by Nick Shook. NC State has it at the blue line, Darlene. Give and go there with Kaufman. Back to Kaufman from Darlene. He'll float one through the middle. Nobody on the near side for it. That'll give Delaware time to take it out. Wagish in the neutral zone. Surrounded by red jerseys. Turns it over to Kaufman, who backhands one right in on goal. And it'll be held on to by Wirtz. We'll get another face-off.
Another face-off in the Delaware zone. You know, that last game, NC State got a couple goals off of that. If they could get one here, then I'm sure they'd be feeling pretty good about themselves. Delaware still, with 4 minutes, enough time to get a couple goals and to even it out. And I'm sure that's what they're looking for here. NC State can't start feeling tired now.
Oh, and all it takes is one bounce, and the game becomes much more stressful for the Ice Pack if it's a one-goal game. They'll keep the pressure on in the offensive zone, though. Tight turn there by Lipinski, looking to get away from pressure. Pushed along for Varielli. Knocked down on the clearance by Shook. And they'll slow up that breakout for Delaware. Cleared all the way down and in. No icing here, so play carries on. Up at the blue line. Nice little shake move there from Aiden Getz. Works it down the wall. Hands it off in the corner for a teammate in Mahalios. Mahalios drops it off the blue line, almost stolen away by Shook. It is stolen now by Darlene. He's just going to race it up the ice. Darlene steps around the defenseman, but can't take the puck with him, and accidentally collides with Wirtz there, and Delaware doesn't like it. They're going to get into it in front of the net now.
Ref takedown.
And I tell you, this is not the wisest way to finish up this game if you're Delaware. I get defending your goaltender, but you're risking putting guys in the penalty box, and you still have a chance. You only need a couple of bounces to go your way, and you're right in this game. And if you start putting guys in the penalty box, it gets a lot more difficult to do that. Now, Darlene will be sent off the ice. I would imagine there's going to be a Delaware player as well that heads to the locker room. Mahalios right now is the one in the penalty box. And honestly, I'm surprised that he didn't get tossed. He was the one wrestled to the ground by the linesman who needed to be restrained. And right now, the only player sent to the locker room is Darlene for NC State.
Darlene maybe letting it get to him a little bit. That freshman temper can sometimes run a little high when you've got so much to prove. Didn't like being roughed.
Now Mahalios will be sent to the locker rooms. That makes sense. You send the two guys that were really the crux of the problem on that play to the locker room. And we'll see. Doesn't look like they're going to send anybody into serve time, which tells me they may have just given out a couple of, whether it be double minors or a couple of game misconducts. I don't think we're going to see anybody in the penalty box, and it should stay 5-on-5. But I think everyone is in the building right now would love to see the officials iron this out quickly. So we are closing in now on 1:30 in the morning. Looking to finish up this game here. 3-1 NC State. Looks like they've straightened everything out. There are, if I had to take a guess at it, 2 game misconduct penalties on Mahalios and on Darlene. And so they both head to their respective locker rooms and will continue to play some 5-on-5 hockey. It sounds like 2-minute roughing penalties to the pair of them, and then a 10-minute misconduct for each as well. So that is kind of what we expected to see out of that, matching penalties for the two players. And so we play 5-on-5 hockey with nobody in the penalty box. Here's Austin Finch down to the last 2.5 minutes. NC State just has to play smart to finish this game out. I don't think this is the finish they wanted. They wanted to pick up a few more goals and win this game a little bit more convincingly. Here's a chance, though. Prasma with the steal in the slot. Fires it high. Turned over behind the goal now to Herman. He'll hand it off for Prasma. Not the cleanest of handoffs, and they'll fight for it behind the goal. Finch out in front. Prasma takes the shot. Oh, it's underneath the goaltender, Wirtz, who is able to fall on top of it and make the save. But a couple of good chances there for the Pack.
Prasma really looking to get his second goal of the game there. Getting those chances. Aided by his other linesmen. We've just seen a lot of good play from this line as well. The Herman Finch Prasma line has just gotten one of the goals this game, and has just been consistently good at winning those face-offs and not letting goals in either.
Delaware collects behind their own goal. Quinn played up that far wall intended for DeMasters, who has to retreat with it. Flaherty now. Spins it back. Turned over to Prasma momentarily. Nice back check from DeMasters to take it back. Now Engelman will skate it out. 1:40 to go. We'll keep an eye on Wirtz. Should be coming out of the box, or out of the net soon for an extra attacker if Delaware would so choose. Not going to have the opportunity now. Skated out by NC State's Zach Herman. Just bleeding some clock. As he turns it over, Nick Shook finds it in the neutral zone. Pestered by Wagish. Now Prasma looking to clear it in, gets tied up there with DeMasters, and Nick Shook will find the loose puck again. Shook along the wall, bodied up at the blue line as he sends it deep. 1:05 to go here tonight.
We may be seeing an element of desperation from the Blue Hens here with just a minute to go.
Well, NC State right now doing a really good job of keeping the puck in the offensive end. That does not give Delaware the chance to get Wirtz out of the net and get the extra attacker, as they still struggle to break it out. Wagish backwards again. He's got Lipinski. Lipinski again. Up the wall for Kramer. 34 seconds left. Delaware's got to move. Kramer powering into the zone. Knocked off the puck by Frosch. Knocked into the corner as the puck by the goaltender Christie. Delaware keeping the pressure on. And it looks like they're not going to pull the goaltender, as Wirtz has made no motion to the bench. And we're down to the final 15 seconds. Engelman skating it up from his own blue line into the offensive end. He'll be worked on by Thronson along the hashes. 5 seconds left as it's knocked behind the goal. Brendan Stam trying to sweep it out in front. That pass denied, and the horn will sound. NC State, not necessarily the prettiest of wins, Ben, but they do get the second win here tonight.
That's right, second win, 2 nights. I'm sure it feels good to win, but not without some injuries and even sending a player to the locker room for the end of the game. I'm sure that does not feel quite as good. It makes that victory maybe a little bit bittersweet.
NC State picks up 3 goals in the second period. First, it was Reese Johnson, and then about halfway through the period, 22 seconds apart, Thomas McEnany and Daniel Prasma made it 3-0. And that's really where NC State ran away with the game. Not necessarily ran away with the game, but just kind of put it away and ended up with a 3-1 victory. So as they look ahead, so we mentioned it'll be an exciting game for them to play. They've certainly played at the Lenovo Center plenty of times, but never against the lineup of players they're going to play against. So it should be a fun one on Monday night.
That's right, absolutely. It's going to be a good one if you can make your way out to it. And credit to Delaware at the end of this game. They played to the horn. They just continue to try and get that even through the last 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think tip your cap to the way that Delaware was able to play defensively, as well as to the goaltending of Ryan Wirtz, who stepped in early on in the period, in the first period rather, and then did a pretty solid job against NC State throughout. Really, I don't think you could have asked for much more out of him. And then on the other end, Dylan Christie, other than the power play goal that he doesn't really have a whole lot of control over, he does a nice job stopping 20 of 21.
Very impressive from both freshman goalies in this game. We saw early on, though, with Hooper of Blue Hens getting injured and Zach Robinson of State getting injured, neither of them making an appearance the rest of the game. Gotta hope that Zach will be okay.
That will be something to look ahead at for NC State. We talked about it, kind of shorthanded this weekend. A few guys nursing some injuries going into the break, or rather coming out of the semester break, and you never want to see an extra one go down, especially one that is as important to this team as Zach Robinson is. I mean, you look at the numbers for Robinson, he's only got 12 points coming into this weekend in 19 games, but there are a lot of little things that don't necessarily show up on the score sheet that he does, and that's something that I think NC State will miss for however long they are without him, which hopefully won't be too long. But some big games coming up for NC State. Next weekend, it'll be the battle for the wagon wheel, a home-and-home series with Liberty, both games on ESPN+. That should be a fun one.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good game, as I talked about with one of the assistant coaches. It's going to be a hard one as well. And it'll be an exciting one to watch, and we'll get to see a lot of spirit from both teams, I'm sure.
All right, well, that will do it for us for tonight. NC State finishing up the alma mater with the frigid sound of the ice. They'll head off the ice. We're going to step aside here for a few minutes. When we come back, we'll wrap things up from Invisalign Arena. Final count here tonight, or rather this morning now, as we're almost at 2 o'clock in the morning. NC State 3, the Delaware Blue Hens 1. We'll be back here on ESPN+.
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know. Why does everyone love summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just better. Oh, don't forget about hot ovens. Or hot peppers. Hot springs, hot chocolate. Hot sandwiches.
Ooh.
Hot soup, hot air balloons. Hot yoga.
I get it. Hotter is better.
Or hot melted cheese.
Sorry. Potbelly, we bring the hot.
Men's health is worth fighting for.
Men are 3 times less likely to ask for help if they are struggling.
Nearly 100 men will lose their lives to suicide each day.
Men are more likely to suffer from substance abuse disorders.
Men need to thrive, not just survive.
We're here to champion men's wellness.
One man at a time. We are stronger together.
The conversation about men's mental health continues.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
My name is Zach Herman. I'm the captain of the NC State Ice Pack, and I was born and raised in the Raleigh area. We are a self-funded program doing our best to represent our university and the local hockey community in Raleigh on a national level.
My name is Alex James, and I'm a senior assistant captain from Lake Norman, North Carolina. The group you're watching out on the ice is a family, and that family does its best to represent you and the rest of the NC State community as best we can each and every day. Some of my top memories from this program include playing in front of over 20,000 NC State fans at Carter Finley, playing in front of over 10,000 NC State fans at Lenovo Center every year, and getting to play in front of a packed house every Friday night at Invisalign Arena.
We welcome and appreciate all your support along the way. Go Pack!
Hey there, I'm Ben Johnson here with Prasmo. So that was a good win for State there, 3-1. Coming out, you got the third goal there, and coming out of that third period, just with that lead, 3-0, how were you feeling then?
I think collectively as a team, we were feeling pretty confident. I think we definitely were looking to get some more goals in the third like we did last night, but sometimes it doesn't go that way. We still played pretty good. We battled hard. We were just kind of, pretty tired, but ready to get it over with.
Yeah, absolutely. The game as a whole, very physical. Just like even from the starting of the first period, Blue Hens really coming out, bringing that physicality. What were like the team's thoughts about that, if you can have some insight?
We kind of assumed, a little bit of a beating last night. They'd probably come out a little pissed off, wanting to get something, so that's how they decided to come out. But I think the good thing about our team is we're always up for the challenge. We love that. If anything, that elevates our game even more, in my opinion, so we're right there with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And going into Monday, you got the exciting alumni game coming up. Are you excited for that? How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I'm extremely excited to get it going. I'm curious to see how it's going to go. We'll see. It's going to be a great time. It's a great event that they're putting on, so it'll be really fun.
I know if I were there, I'd be a little starstruck.
Yeah, I know. Going in the first face-off, seeing Rod Brindamore, we'll see. It'll be surreal. I'll make sure I enjoy the moment.
Well, congrats on your goal. Congrats on your win. And Chris will be back with you in just a few minutes to talk about how that game went.
Thank you very much.
Why are sandwiches?
Back with head coach Tim Healy of the Ice Pack after a 3-1 win over Delaware. Coach, late start tonight, but your team comes out similar first period, although it felt like a little bit cleaner first period for you guys, and it felt like mostly the game was a pretty consistent effort.
I think the first 2 periods were. I think the third one kind of fell asleep a little bit. It's really interesting. Every year we play Delaware, one of the 2 games is kind of a blowout, and the other game is always tight every year without. And we actually went through that beginning the game, and after the second, I was like, all right, maybe this year will be a little bit different, but not to be. Credit to Delaware and hanging around with it. I know you want to talk about the game, but I want to first take a step back and talk about you and your staff. You guys are here at 1:30 in the morning too, your whole staff. So I don't know if I call them PackTV staff or ESPN staff, but thank
both
you guys.
now.
Well, thank you guys for being out here this late, especially both nights and braving the weather. Thank you to Frigid Sound of the South for out here both nights and in force. So I know we want to talk about the game, but those are the things that matter even more. The appreciation of what you guys do.
Absolutely, we appreciate the gratitude, and we wouldn't be here if you guys weren't putting a great product on the ice for us to see. So
Not
there's
the
certainly
third
some
period.
credit
First
there.
2 were. Dylan Christie though, great throughout.
Absolutely, and as we look ahead, there are a lot of big games coming up for you guys against some tough competition, but perhaps the best team you're going to play ever. It's an NC State team you're going to play on Monday. There are a lot of big names that have won some hardware in the NHL that you're going to see in that alumni game.
Yeah, when the year started, I didn't have playing the 2006 Stanley Cup champions on my hockey bingo card, but that's going to be a fun night. It's our first of 2 games at Lenovo Center within the next 3 weeks. I think it's it's one of the reasons why you come to NC State. If you're out here, you're thinking about stuff, it's why you come to NC State. We're Raleigh's college hockey team. We're the college hockey team of a great university, and we have a great relationship with a top NHL team. And remember, Rod Brindamore, he's married into the NC State family, so that is why you come to State. It's going to be an exciting night. Can't wait for it.
Well, we wish you guys the best of luck. I think you might need a little bit of
Need a little bit of luck. Need a little bit of luck.
Well, that will wrap it up for us here tonight at Invisalign Arena. NC State wins a late one over the Delaware Blue Hens. Final count, NC State 3, Delaware 1.
Go Pack.